जपो प्रभु का नाम रे।
गोविंद के नाम बिना तेरा और न कोई काम रे। गोविंद के नाम बिना तेरा और न कोई काम रे। भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद जपो प्रभु का नाम रे। भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद जपो प्रभु का नाम रे।
भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद जपो प्रभु का नाम रे। भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद जपो प्रभु का नाम रे।
ये जीवन है सुख दुख का मेला, दुनियादारी सपनों का खेला।
ये जीवन है सुख दुख का मेला, दुनियादारी सपनों का खेला।
ये जीवन है सुख दुख का मेला, दुनियादारी सपनों का खेला। ये जीवन है सुख दुख का मेला, दुनियादारी सपनों का खेला। जाना तुझको पड़ेगा अकेला, जाना तुझको पड़ेगा अकेला। भजले हरे का नाम रे, भजले हरे का नाम रे। भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद जपो प्रभु का नाम रे। भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद जपो प्रभु का नाम रे।
भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद जपो प्रभु का नाम रे। भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद जपो प्रभु का नाम रे।
दुर्लभ है ये मानव जीवन, जन्म जन्म है कर्मों से बंधन।
दुर्लभ है ये मानव जीवन, जन्म जन्म है कर्मों से बंधन।
दुर्लभ है ये मानव जीवन, जन्म जन्म है कर्मों से बंधन। दुर्लभ है ये मानव जीवन, जन्म जन्म है कर्मों से बंधन। सुख दुख लेकर ले ये जीवन, सुख दुख लेकर ले ये जीवन। मत भूलो प्रभु नाम रे, मत भूलो प्रभु नाम रे। भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद जपो प्रभु का नाम रे। भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद जपो प्रभु का नाम रे।
भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद जपो प्रभु का नाम रे। भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद जपो प्रभु का नाम रे।
पावन जोत जगा के,
गोविंद की महिमा गा के, प्रेम की पावन जोत जगा के।
गोविंद की महिमा गा के, प्रेम की पावन जोत जगा के। गोविंद की महिमा गा के, प्रेम की पावन ज्योत जगा के जीवन अपना सफल बना ले, जीवन अपना सफल बना ले। चल वृंदावन धाम रे, चल वृंदावन धाम रे। भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद, जपो प्रभु का नाम रे। भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद, जपो प्रभु का नाम रे। भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद, जपो प्रभु का नाम रे। भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद, जपो प्रभु का नाम रे। भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद, जपो प्रभु का नाम रे। भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद, जपो प्रभु का नाम रे। भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद, जपो प्रभु का नाम रे। भज गोविंद कहो गोविंद, जपो प्रभु का नाम रे।
गाय गौर मधुर स्वरे, गाय गौर मधुर स्वरे, गाय गौर मधुर स्वरे, गाय गौर मधुर स्वरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा गृह ठाको अनेको, सदा हरि बोले डाको। सुख दुख भूलो ना को, बदन हरि नाम करो रे। गाय गौर मधुर स्वरे, गाय गौर माया जाले बद्ध होए, पाछो नित्य काजे लोए। माया जाले बद्ध होए, काछो नित्य काजे लोए। ये खाना चेतन तेरे, राधा माधव नाम बोलो रे। ये खाना चेतन तेरे, ये खाना चेतन तेरे, राधा माधव नाम बोलो रे। गाय गौर मधुर स्वरे, गाय गौर मधुर स्वरे। दीवाना হইল শেষ, না ভাজিলে ঋষিকেশ। शेष ना बाजिले ऋषिकेश भक्ति विनोद परेश एक बार नम्र से मातुरे भक्ति विनोद परेश एक बार नम्र से मातुरे भक्ति विनोद परेश एक बार नम्र से मातुरे गाय गुर मधुर स्वरे गाय गुर हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गाय गुर मधुर स्वरे गाय गुर मधुर स्वरे गाय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की श्रीला प्रभुपाद की भक्ता वृंदा की जय। Welcome all of you for this Nityanand Sabha gathering. There are also many online devotees also joining here. So I had given, what was the topic I gave? That is Anuj Prabhu, yeah? And that is second part. The first part I will do a little bit of this and then I'll go to that. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuvunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandekam Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namavom Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurattushe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Please recite this verse. Sarvato manaso asangam Adau sangam cha sadhushu Dayam maitrim prashrayam cha Bhuteshu adhyayatochitam. Three devotees can recite, please. Any three of you. Sarvato manaso asangam Adau sangam cha sadhushu
Dayam maitrim prashayam cha
Dayam maitrim prashrayam cha
bhuteshvadhyayathochitam.
Bhuteshwar yatochitam.
Sarvato manaso asangam
Sarvato manaso asangam
Adau sangam cha sadhushu
Adau sangam cha sadhushu
Daya maitrim prasharyam cha
Dayam maitrim prashrayam cha
Bhutesha adau yachitam.
Bhuteshvadhyayatochitam.
सर्वतो मनसो संगम
Sarvato manaso asangam
आदौ संगम च साधुषु
Adau sangam cha sadhushu
दयां मैत्रीं प्रश्यं च
Prashrayam cha
भूतेष्ववृत्तयतोचितम्.
Bhuteshvadhyaya. See, the meaning of this sloka is like this. Sarvato manaso asangam. One should detach the mind completely from bad association. And adau sangam cha sadhushu. Right from the beginning, one should associate with saintly. And dayam means one should show compassion to the innocent and non-blasphemous living entities. And maitri, one should have a friendliness with the equal devotees. And prashrayam means one should take shelter of guru and superiors. Bhuteshu adhyayatochitam. In this way, one should deal with different living entities, yatha uchitam, as per their position. Read the translation. Yeah.
A sincere disciple should learn to dissociate the mind from everything material and positively cultivate association with his spiritual master and other saintly devotees. He should be merciful to those in an inferior position to him, cultivate friendship with those on an equal level, and meekly serve those in a higher spiritual position. Thus, he should learn to deal properly with all living beings.
Yes. So he says here that dissociate with his mind from everything material. So he's saying, this is the first one he's saying, dissociate the mind from everything material and positively cultivate association with Guru and other saintly devotees. And then he's saying, be merciful to those inferior in position to him, and cultivate friendship with those who are at an equal level to him, and meekly serve those in a higher spiritual position. This is junior equal senior treatment. And this is about association, first part. That means dissociate from materialistic people and then associate with scientific people. And the second part talks about how to deal with people at 3 levels. And in this way, you should deal properly with all living beings. Yeah. In this purport, I'll show you a nice purport. It's a very long purport. Read this. Yeah. Yes.
Therefore, any person who seriously desires real happiness must seek a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by initiation. The qualification of the bona fide guru is that he has realized the conclusions of the scriptures by deliberation and is able to convince others of these conclusions. Such great personalities who have taken shelter of the Supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material considerations, should be understood to be bona fide spiritual masters.
Yes. On the other hand,
On the other hand, one should avoid the association of a materialistic person, even if such a person is outwardly chanting the holy names of Krishna. Srila Rupa Goswami has advised
yeah.
in this respect.
Yes. Krishne diyasya giritam manasadriyet dikshasya chet pranatibhischa bhajantamisham shushrushraya vajan vigyam ananyam anya nindadi shunya hridaya mipsita sangalabdya. Yeah.
One may mentally offer respect to any living entity who is chanting the holy name of Krishna, but one should avoid intimate association with materialistic persons, especially those attached to sex enjoyment. Tamodvaram yoshitam, sangi sangam. If one associates with a sensuous person who is attached to the company of women, by such association one will surely go to hell. But if a materialistic person approaches a pure devotee with a sincere desire to hear from him about spiritual improvement, that first class devotee may mercifully give his association, provided the purpose of such a meeting is advancement in the devotional service of Krishna. By such association, even a materialistic person can gradually become a pure devotee of Krishna. If an advanced devotee is not able to engage a materialistic person in the devotional service of Krishna, such association is strictly forbidden.
Yeah. So, till now, which point of this translation is highlighted till now? What is the first one? Yeah.
Associate your mind with in everything material and associate with
Sarvato manaso asangam, ado sangam cha sadhushu. And then one more thing is highlighted till now. Prashrayam. It is talking about taking shelter of Guru. That is Prashrayam. Till now that is completed. Now the second one is going to come on Dayam. And that's the next one. In the Garuda Purana it is said, Visheshatah sa swattameshu vinasangam namuchyate swanecheshu tu deveshu vinasangam na puryate. Yeah, read this.
one cannot be liberated without association with the pure devotee of the Lord. And unless one shows mercy to those in an inferior position, one's life will be superficial.
See this point what he says. Read this again, this point.
Unless one shows mercy to those in an inferior position, one's life will be superficial.
Which means all around NVCC there are so many housing colonies, correct? No? There's a 3, I call it as Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, 3 buildings. What do you call that? Gaganonnati, right? Then we have Akruti. Akruti itself has 950 houses, I heard. And Gaganonnati also, many costly houses are there. So, there are places like this, which if we don't show mercy to those in an inferior position, means people who don't know Krishna consciousness, who are simply going to job, making money, putting up family, going to movie, going to party, and whiling away their valuable time. Anytime death will come and strike them and they will die like cats and dogs, not knowing where are they going. But we are not in that position. We have already got the shelter of Vaishnavas. Now we are chanting the holy name. We are aware of things properly. So those who are aware, they should not keep mum. It is a duty to go to those who are unaware and enlighten them. And if we don't enlighten them, what he says will happen to us. What will happen? Our Krishna conscious life will become superficial. So anybody can explain what is superficial? What is the meaning of it becomes superficial? Even devotees in online can also answer. Huh? Please give the mic to him. Yeah.
Mechanical
Here is, I think Rishikesh is answering, I think. Go ahead, Rishikesh Prabhu. Yeah, go ahead.
it will be like mechanical bhakti from externally, like it will be mechanical bhakti externally following rituals, but not from a heart we are doing the bhakti.
Beautiful.
So
Good.
actual heart transformation will not
Correct,
happen.
correct. That's
It
very
will
nice.
become a habit, but
Externally, you wear tilak, kantimala, wear dhoti, kurta, chant, and you're doing externally, but your heart is not engaged in devotion service. Heart is, chasing after something else. Okay? Let us hear from Prabhu.
Same Prabhuji.
Answer same.
We are means our bhakti will be only mechanical, but we won't be absorbed in it, and that will not be pleasing to Guru.
That's a
and
very
Krishna.
nice statement also. We may not be absorbed in it. Absorbed means with liking, with relish, with appreciation, giving our wholehearted consciousness. We may not do. It may be very superficial, he says. Good point. So, we want our bhakti to be superficial or from the heart? Yeah? From the heart. So, what he says we have to do for making the bhakti from the heart? And how also you have to say? So, what he says you should do in order to bring the bhakti from your heart and not superficial? Show mercy. So, how does showing mercy to others in an inferior position, how does it bring our bhakti from the heart? What is the connection? Who can say? Yeah.
Super soul in our heart will be pleased by our endeavors, and he will bestow his mercy so that we will advance in our spiritual life.
Okay. Super soul is pleased with us and he will give us advancement. Thank you.
When we have something wonderful, we always try to distribute it. So if we ourselves take bhakti and understand that this is a very blissful process, then automatically from heart it will come to distribute to others. So by that way, like,
But we are not talking about that at the moment. Right now, say you are not feeling a need for distributing. You are just practicing. But then you read one statement here that unless one shows mercy to those in an inferior position, one's life will be superficial. You understood? So you discussed with a friend that I don't want my life to be superficial in the ISKCON society. I want it to really come from the heart. So because you want to bring it out to the heart, therefore you go to show mercy to people. Not that you are feeling like doing. You are doing to feel, not feeling to do. How many of you understand this? You may not feel to do, but we are doing to get that feeling from the heart. Therefore we may do. My question is, by doing, how does the feeling come? That's my question. Understood, no? By going out to these housing colonies, giving them books or putting up programs and, reaching out Krishna consciousness to them, new people, and then making them introduced to this knowledge. Like I gave one program, I remember in COEP, I think, there were like 700-800 people. In those days, the biggest auditorium, everybody was there. So I gave some lecture. In many of my lectures, I tell a Mahamantra also and 4 regulative principles also. So we used to take the chits. So in the chits, I found at least 200, 250 boys had written that, sir, I never knew that meat eating is sin. I was not aware. Today onwards, I promise that I'll give it up. Almost 250 people out of 700 people wrote. They're going to give up meat eating. So many people, many living beings are innocent. They are in an inferior position and they are not aware. At least you go and tell them, they immediately wake up. Correct, no? So by our doing that to them, how our bhakti doesn't remain superficial, it goes to the heart and then it starts giving feelings for Krishna. How? What is the connection?
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Yeah?
So when we are trying to preach somebody, when we try to convince them on a particular topic, so our conviction also increases, and like for them to come to bhakti, we pray. So for that, our prayerful attitude also increases. So that helps to bring the word bhakti towards in our heart.
Okay. So what he says, that when you try to preach to somebody, they ask many questions to you, challenging questions to you. In the course of answering their questions, and you also refer to books and you ask devotees, and then your own understanding of the subject as well as conviction, it becomes deepened. Huh? Then naturally, that is one of the reasons he says. And conviction is in the heart. Huh? So our convictions are aroused. Like that he says. Good point, Saurabh. Yes. And
Well, due course of interacting with the materialistic people, we can see the what shastras are telling is actually true. We get the realizations of that, and to preach or to share something, we have to intensify our own bhakti and sadhana. So that makes us to dive deep more into the shastra. So,
wonderful. Two very good points you made. One is when you get out of the temple or get out of your house to go to the people, then you get to see how they are pathetically suffering. What kind of lifestyle are they leading? And many of the people, even without your asking, they will come and cry to you. What problems they are facing. People say, I'm facing this problem, that problem. And you can see that these guys are actually drowning in problems. And because of Krishna consciousness, I am saved from these problems. That is one thing you can see. And also, the second thing that he was telling was, when you come back and then you study, isn't it? You said when you study the Shastras more seriously and then get answers to their questions and answer them, actually your sympathy that you show for others, in taking out time, like I was telling, his Holiness Bhaktivinoda Maharaj, used to come to IIT, from Chowpatty to IIT would take 1.5 to 2 hours drive. He would come in his car. And then behind the car, he would have kept this bag of japamalas, bag of books, then one box full of prasadam, everything. And then there would be no one to help him. He would just open the car, take the things and go and keep it in the room. And again, he would come second time, 2-3 trips he will make to go and keep it. Of course, later on, he got help from the boys. So, and he has to fight the traffic and then come to IIT, almost 2 hours drive, you see. So we used to be touched by that sacrifice that he would make, coming 2 hours, going 2 hours, program 2 hours, almost like 6 hours gone in that day, right now. So when a preacher takes trouble, all the answers they said is true. One is the super soul becomes very pleased with the preacher. Therefore, he says, Yasmin Tushtam, Jagat Tushtam. When Lord is pleased, then the devotee who is rendering service, Lord touches his heart and he becomes pleased also. So when you become pleased, you become satisfied. Then the heart is touched. When your heart, that's why we say, no, I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, we say, no. That means what? Coming from the inside. So that's one reason also. Another reason is, when people ask you challenging questions, you will have to read Prabhupada books deeply. Otherwise, you will never touch Prabhupada books. Most boys told me that they opened device book only when they had to give a device lecture. Otherwise, never touched it, they said. So, we'll read the books, correct? Huh? And also, as he said, you get realizations when you go out in the outside world. Like, for example, one day I went with one brahmachari to hospital. This BJ Medical Hospital. So we saw how many people are lying in the hospital. Crying, hand is broken, leg is broken, different diseases. And nasty smelling. I mean, you look at the hospital. We were there 10 minutes only. You clearly can see Dukkalayam, Ashashvatam, practical demo you get when you go there. When you go in the outside world, I went to a market yard to one shop. That fellow had called us for taking some donation for the temple, some rice and other things he would give, sugar and oil and all that. And he went to his shop. He had a TV in front of him. And he's watching the TV, the share market value is going up and coming down. And they are announcing it. And this fellow was telling me, Swamiji, आपका श्री चरण हमारी दुकान में पड़ा है, आपकी कृपा से हम बच जाएंगे. मेरा थोड़ा ब्लड प्रेशर की प्रॉब्लम है. डॉक्टर ने बोला कि सावधान रहो, तेल मत खाओ, ये मत खाओ, सब बोला है. मुझे डर है, फिर भी मैं संभालता हूँ शरीर को. आप आशीर्वाद दीजिए और हम 10-20 साल ठीक तरह से हम रह सके. Either he was telling me. Then I told him, if you have blood pressure problem, then why do you have this TV? Because that is showing share market value. And every time the rates go up, he's catching this. Coming down. Is it good for him? It's very dangerous. He knows it is not good for his BP, still he is indulging in it. Because he has no alternative. Material life, you go from one problem to another problem. Correct, no? So, You can see people struggling with material problems when you go out. People are suffering from diseases. People are suffering from greed and suffering from anger. One fellow I had gone to him. He said, he was literally crying, tears practically. He said, his wife left him and went to her parents' home now. 3 months have passed. He said, repeatedly calling her, she's not coming. He went personally once, she is not coming. I asked her, what happened that she has rejected you like this? He said, he gave her a slap. One slap she gave, she said, now I'm going to be with my parents now. And he was cursing himself. What can I do with my anger? Yeah, मुझे लगा कि मुझे खुद को ये फांसी में डाल दूं. And let me hang myself because I can't control my temper. So when we go out only, you come to see how people are suffering. And then you give them Mahamantra. You chant Mahamantra. You take these books, you take some prasad. When you come back, you think, my Lord, the world is full of so many problems. Krishna, you have so kindly come as a holy name. You have sent Acharya Sri Prabhupada. And so our gratitude to Prabhupada and the Guru, our gratitude for the holy name, everything will increase. And that is how things come from the heart. He said about realization, he said. That's how you get realization. Otherwise, if you are within the 4 walls, what we'll be doing, I've seen even brahmacharis also. If they don't go out, they'll be asking, sabji mein thoda namak kam hai. That little less salt in sabji today. Why you didn't make this item? Why you didn't make? Either they discuss about what prasadam, or they'll be quarreling with one another. You will see that. If you are in brahmachari, you'll quarrel with brahmachari. If you are at home, you'll quarrel with wife. Everybody will be showing their display of their ego in this world. When you go out, then like one fellow was wearing a t-shirt, I saw it in Hyderabad. He said, live echo, leave ego. That was a t-shirt. Live echo, leave ego. This you can do when you are, you can leave ego when you go out to reach out to people. You have no time to quarrel with anybody. Correct now. You just go and therefore, when you show your mercy to those in inferior position, then you can practice from your heart. Now, please go ahead, read this one.
It is a practical experience in the Krishna consciousness movement that those who are expanding their mercy by preaching the message of Krishna are making rapid spiritual progress, and their life is filled with transcendental bliss. Those who neglect the quality of mercy, being uninterested in the missionary activities of Krishna consciousness movement, are not filled with transcendental pleasure as described here by the word Puriyate.
So, 2 types of people he is talking. One is making an effort to expand their mercy. Like right now, you all are boys. Very soon, a time will come when your match will be made and you get married. Now you have X amount of responsibility. Now, X plus Y is going to come, correct, no? And that's going to be added to your existing. Even now, how many of you feel your life is pretty busy? Even now, you feel. Correct, no? Yeah. Now, imagine to this, you're going to add one wife, and then after that, one more will come. After the child will come. Correct, no? And then naturally there's going to be house, there is job. So responsibilities keep adding to our life. So at the moment, currently, if anybody says, I have no time for missionary activities, even when you are a single man, after you are married with wife and you have 2 children, do you think we will have time? So I actually today wanted to call one devotee, Antadipu, Sarvawtar Prabhu, and his wife and 3 children. You can just give him a call if he is at home. So we will give him. Is already in? Is he there here? No, he gave Sarvavatar Prabhu gave. Actually, I wanted him to speak about his latest things, what he is doing. You can check. Actually, I was in Vishal Nagar, so I came just now. I want to call him in the morning. You'll be very inspired if you hear him. He has 3 Raj, you know that, his sons? Prem Raj and Giriraj and Rasraj? Vardaraj. Brajaraj. Brajaraj, Prem Raj and Giriraj. And all these Rajas are super enthusiastic fellows, all these kids. And recently he sent me, he sent me a mail about his activities. Let me just check whether I have it. So, his name is Sarvavatar Prabhu. I don't know what name he sent me, and I don't know. Yeah, I got it. Oh. See this one. He is a married man with 3 sons, you see here. I want to share with you. You are able to see this? You are able to see this? I never see this. Now? Yeah. See, Sarvawtar Prabhu, you want to share this report, you can see this. See, Monday what he has? Deity Abhishekan, dressing at home. Tuesday, Dasanadas Seva in the temple with pujaris. It's coming? Yeah, correct. Wednesday, what time is coming? Okay. In a Mangal cooking in temple. I will interview him. Now I will show them the schedule, then I will interview him. I will ask him some tough questions, I will ask him. Tuesday, Wednesday, Mangal Bhoga cooking in temple. And Friday, Vidyashram class for Madhava batch boys. This BVVA, Bhaktivedanta Vidyashram, he is giving class for Madhava batch. And Saturday, morning program in temple fully, 4:30 to 9:30. And malt class I give every Saturday afternoon for the managers and leaders training, MALT. That all over Aurangabad, Ahmednagar and all those Satara and Kolhapur and Pune, wherever I am regional secretary, I am calling all the managers, like 100, 150 people. So he is also joining that. An evening children program, which we conduct in Lake District Society. Some society goes and conducts. And Sunday morning program in temple. That means Saturday, Sunday, both morning program in temple. This is his schedule. And this Apurva Gopi Mataji is his wife. See, Monday she is going for deity Abhishekan dressing at home. Wednesday attends Bhagavata class with regular Premataji. Thursday, Rajabha cooking seva in temple. Friday attends CC class with regular Premataji again. Saturday morning program temple, morning class given. And then evening children program. And Sunday morning program at temple. And Prem Raj, now his son has also joined now. See, every day, Monday to Sunday, 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., plucking flowers for Lord in temple garden. See here. Monday to Sunday, from 7 to 8 a.m. attends Vidyashram class. We have BVVA class. Daily morning, Monday to Sunday attends. And Wednesday, 5:30 to 7 p.m., playing Mridanga in temple hall. And Saturday, playing Mridanga in Saturday children program. So son, already one son has started, other sons will start now eventually. You think it's amazing or not? See, Rajaraj is also there. This fellow is Prem Raj and second one is Rajat. Attends Vidyashram class from Monday to Sunday. He is attending, which means eventually other children will follow also, correct? No? Similarly, Sitaram Prabhu has 4 children, you know that, like 4 Kumaras. Small boys, all wearing Gurukul dress. You can see that. Okay, I'll save this and keep it. It's very good to show to people. So, why I am telling you this? You can see that he is a busy person, but your Sundarsham was counseling in the Bhatvidyapi days. And you can see so in college days he was like that, and now with the family he is able to do so many things. You can see that. Amazing, no? How is he able to manage? Krishna is giving him time. Krishna says, I am. He says, no? Krishna. Time I am means if you have Krishna, you have time. That's the meaning of time I am, correct? So here he is saying that anyone who is trying to expand their mercy by preaching, they are blissful. He is one blissful devotee. Therefore I read out his schedule. And if you neglect the quality of mercy, saying that where is time? I am very busy. Even I have 16 rounds to complete. I am struggling. I have no time, missionary activities. Then you are not blissful, he says. They are not filled with transcendental pleasure. And then he says, what happens? You can read this one. Yeah.
Not being filled with spiritual pleasure, surely such persons attempt to
fill their lives with material pleasure through sense gratification, and mental speculation, associating with women, or reading innumerable mundane novels, newspapers, news magazines, and so on.
See, this is what happens. If somebody does not go out distributing books, distributing prasad, doing preaching, then suddenly you will find yourself swallowed by mundane activities. Namely, mental speculation means talking about who will be the BJP come or Congress come in the top. Now, what is happening? And then what about Christian conversion? How can we stop it? People talk, but they don't do anything. You'll talk political things, you will talk. Or you will associate with women, he says. Or you will read innumerable mundane novels people read. Newspapers. Nowadays, you go to Google search, all newspapers come. Correct, no? People are reading news magazines. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, if you do preaching activities, go ahead, according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
The preaching activities of Krishna consciousness movement are Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam, the ever increasing ocean of bliss. Missionary activities are based on the principle of daya or mercy to those who are fallen. Those who are actually preaching become enlivened by associating with other preachers. This principle is called matrim, or friendship among equals.
When you go out and preach, when you come back, you have some valuable jewel-like realizations to share with others. I saw it with my own eyes when I was in Chowpatty, way back in 91. I would come from IIT in the night, like at about 8:30 I'll come, I'll take my hot khichdi prasad and wash the plate, and I'll be preparing to go to sleep. And I will see that 9:30, 9:45, one by one, preachers will start returning back. Like so, His Holiness Bhaktivinoda Maharaj, Radha Gopinath Prabhu, Shyamanand Prabhu, Krishnanand Prabhu, Govind Prabhu, all of them. And the light will be switched off, dim light will be there, but they will be shoulder to shoulder standing, and they will be discussing about how that program was. My program went like this. How was your program? How many people came? Who became serious? Anybody came to 16 rounds? That kind of discussion they'll be doing. And we were thrilled to see that preachers are all friends with one another, and they are also discussing about preaching and how many books distributed and which program you did. So because of that temple became an ecstatic temple, because they would, day in and day out go here, there, and there was no time. It was like a very busy office. Ashram, if people would come, they would come to take their car, take prasad, take japamalas, take Prabhupada books, wash the clothes and put it for drying, and immediately morning one engagement, afternoon another engagement, evening another engagement. It will be like that. There is no. I was assisting Bhaktivinoda Maharaj in Spiritual Scientist magazine. So I saw in the morning, immediately after the Bhagavatam, he will take me out. We will go to one car road. There is one printing press. We'll talk about printing. So discussing about services, going and planning. So just like you are all busy in your office now, just as office engages you now, right? Same way, devotees in the temple are also engaged. But those who are not engaged like that, they are not showing daya. So if you show daya to others, then you have some valuable realizations to share with others, equal devotees. That's called Maitri. Yeah, please complete it. Yeah.
The power to carry out such preaching activities, as well as the proper guidance for distributing Krishna's message, comes through the principle of prashrayam, or humble service at the lotus feet of spiritual authorities, such as the spiritual master.
Yes, that is prashrayam. That means, Guru gives you empowerment, and he gives you proper guidance also, how you should distribute Krishna's message and how you should not distribute, how you should balance between sadhana and seva, how you should balance between, presenting Krishna consciousness powerfully, at the same time mercifully. So all that is taught by Guru. And then Guru gives empowerment to us, blesses us to go out and preach and do something, and that is called prashrayam. So you all understand the three words? What are the three words? Prashrayam, Maitrim, Dayam. Dayam for whom? Those in an inferior position. And Maitrim for equal preachers. And Prashrayam? Guru, yes. Then in conclusion statement is a beautiful statement. Read this one.
If one preaches Krishna consciousness sincerely under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master and in the company of fellow preachers, one is perfectly fulfilling the statement of this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam.
and thus he will come to the point of Sarvato Manso Sangam, or complete detachment from illusory energy of the Lord.
Whether you are a brahmachari or a grihasta, once you know Krishna consciousness, philosophy properly, we all have a desire that I want to perfect my life and go back to Godhead. Correct, no? But you find, although the desire is there, we need two things, mercy of Guru and our endeavor. Out of the two, which is lacking oftentimes? Our endeavor. Mercy is always there. Like, sunlight is there. Doctor says, go and sit in the sunlight for 15 minutes, you won't have any bone problem. But we will not take our time to sit. After that, you will eat the vitamin D tablet to get the strength for the bone. Correct, no? So, you will see that mercy is always there, just like the sunlight. But our effort often lacks. So, I have seen brahmachari, grihastha, whoever you be, if we lack our effort, swacheshta we call it, then we suffer. So he's saying, beautiful statement is, if one preaches Krishna consciousness, sincere in the guidance of a guru, one of it guru, and in the company of fellow preachers, one is perfectly fulfilling the statement of this verse of Bhagavatam. Then he will come to the point of Sarvato Manaso Sangam, complete detachment from the illusory energy of the Lord. That happens because of spiritual absorption. One of you used the word absorption, correct, no? So spiritual absorption comes if we do these three things. Prashrayam, Maitrim, and Dayam. All the three you show. You do that and then you'll get spiritual absorption completely. It's a very beautiful verse it is. Yeah, please read it. Somebody?
Missionary work is a very important aspect of Krishna consciousness movement. Like Srila Prabhupada. Preaching is like a head of our Krishna consciousness society. If the head is removed, the whole body dies. Letter to many devotees, 3rd December 1971.
See, in a body you can live without hands or not. Correct, no? If one hand got cut in a machine, you can still live. If your leg got totally fractured, they removed the leg and put a wooden leg for you. Still you can live. But have you seen anybody's head was cut, still is walking? Yeah. So in our society, what is head of our society, he says? Preaching. He's saying preaching. And what is the blood of ISKCON movement, Prabhupada said? Money. He said, Lakshmi. Bringing Lakshmi is the blood. And what is the body of ISKCON movement, Prabhupada said? Himself. He said, ISKCON is my body, he said. And then the blood in ISKCON, he said, is money, because we have to bring Lakshmi and use it in Krishna service, he said. Build temples using Krishna service. And then he said, preaching is like the head, he said. And back to Godhead, he said, it's the backbone of our society. He said like that. And nectar of devotion is like the law book of ISKCON. He said like that. And BBT, he said, is my heart, he said. So you can remember which part of the body of Prabhupada is which one. So I will ask you now, which is heart? Which is backbone? Back to Godhead. Which is blood? Lakshmi. Which is body? ISKCON is his body, he said. Yeah. And which is preaching? Head. So have you ever seen photo of a person without head? Actually, you will find whenever they ask your identity, you don't show part of your body, hand or leg or something. Only one part you show. Which part? Head, yeah. Because the most important part with which they recognize you. That means if preaching is not happening in our temple, we are not going out and preaching, then we are headless society. Correct now? Headless society cannot survive. It will die. Very soon it will die. Many organizations which did not preach vigorously, they are all gone now. They'll close down. Many founders of many organizations, when they died, the subordinate, their followers didn't preach. Because they didn't preach, they perished over a period of time. But our movement is not perishing, our movement is flourishing. Because some people are making effort to preach. Correct, no? Yeah. I read further.
Srila Prabhupada. Preaching is the most important business. Although my personal service is also important, the preaching work comes first. I want every one of our men to become first-class preachers.
Yeah. Today morning, I was in Vishal Nagar. Karnataka Prabhu told me to give out some 25-30 certificates. It was written Teachers Training Certificate. I asked, what is it? He said, this is DYSTTC. Discover Yourself Training we gave to 25 people. Now, they gave some 4-5 days of training program. Now they are all going to start DYS now. So he has got 45 teachers he has got. Out of 200 devotees, 45 are teachers now. They are all trained and certified to give DYS course. And then they are asked to start program in different colonies. Now I showed you one video. You saw Leelananda Prabhu's video? Correct, the Rath Yatra video you all saw. In that you saw who is Leelananda Prabhu, you saw him? He is the head of the community. He has got about 200 people also. In his group there are 15 preachers. So he has given each of them one housing colony. You develop this colony, you develop this colony. Everybody goes. So morning 10 to 1 on Sunday, they go with their wife and children and give a program. And each of these programs is attracting 50 to 70 people. Each program. We have photos also of all of them. You can imagine? And on all housing colonies. Probably one of the reasons is these are all from good companies like Google or our Microsoft in Hyderabad. So they are in big positions, managers and everybody. So when they go to give a class in some housing colony, people are welcoming them also. Chairman says, sir, please come. You can give a program in our clubhouse. And then they start program. But they are all for Leelananda Prabhu students. So they have started 15 programs like that. So 10 to 1, they do program, come home, take lunch prasad, relax, take rest for some time. Evening 5 to 8, they go for Leelananda Prabhu's program. It's every Sunday. So Leelananda Prabhu gives every time 3-4 shlokas from Gita. Now he's in 12th chapter, I think. He gives. And it's a 3-hour continuous class. 5 o'clock he will start with 10 minutes kirtan. And the whole thing, including question answer, ends at 8 o'clock. It's a regular thing. Whenever he would give me 3-hour program, I will tell him, make it 2 hours. He was ready for 3 hours. The audience is trained for sitting for 3 hours continuously. Of course, they sit down. He gives them this kind of thing. You know, that sitting down also, they have this L-shaped thing. Use them for sitting. So, that's a very, very vigorous missionary spirited group. Similar group is there in Pacharam, Singapore city, in Hyderabad. It's Infosys, 20,000 employees are there. In the heart of Infosys accommodations lives one great soul. His name is Madhav Gopinath Prabhu. So, Madhav Gopinath told me, any of your boys want a girl or any of your girls want a boy, you tell me, Prabhuji, I have matched more than 100 marriages he has conducted. But one condition he says, I will give them a job in Infosys, but they should come and stay in my community. That is his condition. So we have in Hyderabad itself 4 or 5 boys we gave them. He got them married, gave them jobs and settled in their community. Every morning you will find 90 people coming from Mangalarati in his program. Every morning, husband, wife, children, small kids, 6-year-old kids are there every morning. They'll be there. You will find all with dhoti kurta. Even kids are wearing dhoti kurta. So this is one thing I found, the kind of discipline, commitment, surrender, obedience. It's high class it is. Because if brahmacharis say this, people will say, hey, brahmacharis are fanatics. They will say. Now that is the reason I'm thinking that from Pune we will make some yatra to Hyderabad. And one evening we will spend with Leelananda Prabhu. And the evening we will spend with Madhav Gopinath Prabhu. How many of you would like to come? Haribol. Santati Prabhu, make a note of this. Yeah, you can plan that. Correct. That camp you can keep there. You can do that. They'll be very inspired. Yeah. And because why I'm calling you all there, if you come, you will come to know they are doing many, many more things. He has got a Purana Telekam on website. He has given 20 students compiling Bhagavatam commentaries of Acharyas in the computer. Tomorrow, any Acharya commentary, you click it, it will take you there. So they're doing it because they're all Infosys people. They're using their computer talent and doing that. Similarly, you can give any handwritten or PDF file, anything you give him, they can convert it into Word file. They are so expert in computer also. They are doing PPTs, many, they are doing a lot of things. Only when you come there, I will tell them to give a presentation, you will come to know what are they doing. So, that's what Prabhupada is saying. Preaching is the head of, it's a head of our Krishna conscious society, he's saying. Like it is shown in the picture, if you see. Sarvawtar Prabhu ki jai. See, that chair is one chair you can give for Sarvawtar Prabhu. It's a good chair. You can come here. Come here. Now I'm going to interview you now. Short interview. I can give you. Come. See, I have shown your schedule to the devotees. Recently you sent a mail, no? I showed. So some devotees are asking question. You have 3 sons and wife and family, and what job are you doing? How do you get time for all this? They are asking.
Hare Krishna. Source of inspiration for everything is Radheshyam Prabhu. Whatever we do, me, my wife, our focus is to just to please him. We try our best. We are very short, to his expectations, but we are trying our best. What I heard, from Prabhuji's lectures, from others, Shiksha Guru, he's as good as Diksha Guru. We don't have direct connection to our Diksha Guru. Unfortunately, or maybe this is situation all over ISKCON. We are not very close to our Diksha Guru. But our Shiksha Guru is on his, actually he plays very prominent role in our life. So, and Radheshyam Prabhu is being a very prominent Shiksha Guru in most of us. What I feel, pleasing him is as good as, is definitely not as good as, is pleasing is my spiritual master, Radhanand Maharaj. And we are trying our best. Now, what we have observed, I had opportunity to go to South Africa. We were in Cape Town. I was there for almost 3 years. But while going only, I heard one statement from Radheshyam Prabhu, we need living examples in ISKCON actually. What he said, we are looking for living examples. Like see, by his own example, in every area, whatever, a brahmachari is supposed to do, as a leader, as a brahmachari, what an ideal role he plays everywhere. So there are many Grihastas also who are, following that, they are doing that. So we also, I just kept this in mind, and when I went to South Africa, I decided, okay, let me associate at least, take inspiration from one person who is very exemplary, So fortunately, we found that one couple, and under their guidance, in their association, we did many things actually. Me, my wife, we used to host a program, weekly program in our house. We used to render many services in temple, and many. But if you take one person in your life, accept one person, and just dedicate your life, if he is following your spiritual master, he is following Srila Prabhupada, then just accept that one person and try to please him, whatever your capacity, Now we are not doing, there are many other devotees, those who are doing so much more than us. But our aim is to just to please him some way, whatever we can do, that's for our capacity, and that we are trying. With that one principle, we are living our life. So when you decide, and with that one principle, I'm also I'm not very, I'm in IT and doing job, and with 3 kids, job is also quite hectic. Recently, 2 years back, there was a layoff, big layoff in companies, because of COVID situation. I was also laid off. Then again, 6 months, I did some, I took some training, and now I'm again back in IT, but with some different field. So there are some challenges. So definitely difficulties are there. Job is hectic. There are financial challenges. There are many things, like common, ordinary devotee faces. But if this one goal is there, like one thing is that, I always remember, again, this statement from Radheshyam Prabhu. He quoted in one class that, if you want to be very serious in spiritual life, remember this Chanak has one statement that always think about your death. Now see, I am 42. On an average, person lives for 65, 70 years. If he's, nothing happens by Krishna's, grace, everything goes well. Person lives 65, 70 years at the max. So almost like, if you see, most of the part of life is gone. So if you get stuck in all these things now, oh, let me focus on my career, let me do this, let me do that, and just you neglect your spiritual life. So this is the greatest good fortune that we have received. I don't know what we have done, in which life, we got causeless mercy, and now suddenly we got this opportunity. None of us in life actually, I'm sorry, not none of us, at least myself, I never had a plan to, since birth, I never had any plan, I was not inquisitive about spiritual life, or, I was not that looking for some spiritual master, I read some philosophy. I born and brought up in village atmosphere, so definitely there was some culture, but that was not aim of my life. So by some causeless mercy, I happened to come in ISKCON, and that too, and when I talk to other devotees, same the case with them. But such a great good fortune, see, there are many sampradayas, why suddenly we landed in ISKCON. It's some for us it's a miracle, and like this diamond of Krishna consciousness, just to give it up, just for some mere some little worries or little things, and it's the greatest. Misfortune. But I feel like I heard one statement from some devotees that if you those people, those who don't come to Krishna consciousness, they are really unfortunate. But most unfortunate are those who come and those who go away. But what I feel, the most unfortunate are those who are just there in Krishna consciousness and not actually practicing with the goal that what it is meant for. They are actually most unfortunate. They are just mingling around, just going here, there, just spending their time in company. This very most of you are also working in companies. They say people are just going through. Like now they have policy. If you are if you are working for 15 years, and if you don't justify your work experience, your experience with your work, now they are replacing freshers with 15-20 years of experience. Now that is the situation in company. Can you imagine? Person working for 15-20 years, they are replacing them with the freshers.
Because they have to pay less salary, I think.
Yeah, yes, very less. With same salary, they can hire 5-10 people, Can you imagine the same formula if you apply in ISKCON? If you don't grow, with your years of experience, I sometimes, my brother is brahmachari, and we keep on talking. So I always share this mood, that, just being here for 20 years doesn't make you qualify to, only because I am here, so give me this post, I am very senior. Are you really justifying your experience, by your, whatever you are doing, by your sadhana, by your services that you have taken, So, yes, so there definitely I come from very, simple family. My wife is also actually, when I was getting married, my wife is also engineer actually. She was working in good company. But I decided, when before our marriage, I spoke to her. I said, okay, you can work. After marriage, we'll give a try. If my salary doesn't fulfill our needs, then you can work. Otherwise, if my salary is satisfied, I'm saying we can go nicely, manage the family. Then why unnecessary, better than so. And she was also very simple, actually, well educated, but very simple. She immediately accepted. She said, no problem. And I gave her example of many other Matajis, those who are well qualified and they are housewives and doing very nice. So, yes, definitely, whatever I do is a great support from my wife also. So, when it's come to now actual question, the why I manage, yes, so there is a source of inspiration. Radheshyam Prabhu is our main source of inspiration. Actually, I have made a point that every day at least I hear is one class. So that gives me a lot of nourishment actually. Me, my wife, both of us, morning when we get up, since then, till the time we go to bed, at least one lecture is done, So in between, whenever we get time. So that gives us a lot of inspiration. That keeps us this fire of Krishna, fire, very much actually, very into the fire of Krishna consciousness. So coming to the schedule, then, when you want to do something, then other things become, you adjust everything and make focus something that you just want to please your, authority. So you will adjust other things. So definitely then accordingly, then, we arrange. My wife, basically, she takes care of my children, about their academics, about, their studies and everything. And also she, whenever she takes out time, and also from that also she teaches them about Krishna conscious activities. And when evening when I come back, and then Saturday Sundays I spend time with them. Yes, that's
and how? And I also wanted to know these services which have been taken up little by little more. You also have taken up. Wife also has taken up.
Yeah. Yes.
So when you come to our services, the smaller kids, how they are managed, your younger ones especially?
No, actually.
So when you come, she is available. Like
yes. Yeah.
Alternately.
So, yes. So when I come, and services, 2-3 hours of service in the morning. When I do, I do, the Daswandas Seva related to Pujari services. That is for 3 hours in the morning. And then cooking Seva for 2 hours in the morning. And then I take Vidyashram classes, and then Saturday, Sunday we come for morning program. So when we come for morning program, any festival, Saturday, we have a rule in our family that whenever there is holiday for children, the morning program will happen in temple. So either it is any holiday, it is summer holidays or anything.
Holiday is a holiday.
So any holiday we do. Other days actually it becomes a little challenging. Their school starts early. So when they are, we tried that, but when they are in temple, so they feel sleepy in school, and so and also health issue. But anyway, but at least when they got holiday, so we are here in temple attending whole morning program. And other services like we have to manage. When when I am here, she is there with them, and also like they also get up little early. So my wife also keeps them engaged actually.
Is it?
Yes.
That's good. And would you like to ask questions today? Any of you? You have the mic with you? Any online devotees you want to ask? I showed the schedule of Sarvawtar Prabhu and his wife.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So my question is, Prabhuji, that these days in Hindus or Indian families, the people are trying to reduce the number of children, and we want to save our expenses, and we want to just focus. Of course, that being a non-devotees, they have their goals to have sense gratification more and more, and not have responsibility of children and make them good citizens of the country, and of course offer devotional service to them. My question is, with all these challenges, having children plus managing finances, and along with lot of services with missionary spirit, how are you able to balance yourself with all these kind of things?
Yeah, I got your question. Actually, we never had a plan to actually how many children we have. Definitely, we had a plan to go for children, but fortunately, we had such a nice experience. Raising children in Krishna consciousness. We had a first child, Premraj, and he was doing very well. Then Vrajraj, and then we decided, okay, we should go for third child also. So that actually, one thing what I realized for Grihastas actually, like for brahmacharis, they stay in ashram, and their progress happens by association, by preaching, by doing missionary activities in one sense. But for Grihastas, this is my realization. Your progress, your advancement in Krishna consciousness happens the way you focus, on your children, making them Krishna conscious. Not only developing them materially, but more you focus on their spiritual upbringing. That is a way Grihastas they progress in Krishna consciousness. Now that is my personal realization. There can be other parameters for different devotees, maybe some different things, but that is what we have realized. So actually, yes. So our good experience with our two children encourages us to also we should go for third child. Definitely, I have some financial backup. I got some ancestral property. So even I don't have a job, I can manage. But no, actually, so that was not the only consideration. What happens nowadays, I heard very wonderful. Actually, I also hear along with Radheshyam Prabhu, I hear in between, Amoglila Prabhu's classes. They are like humoric and at the same time very, always keeps philosophy, our Krishna conscious goals and everything. No deviation at all. So I like to hear his lectures. So in his one class, he was telling that if you have good children, you don't have to worry about keeping property for them. So yeah, you
will be responsible.
Yeah, so they will earn everything at their own. You don't have to pay as a parent. If you have good children, you don't have to worry about their maintenance, about their making home for them, making property for them. If you have, and anyway, because they will take care of their own. And if you have bad children, then also you don't have to worry, because anyway they are bad children, They will take property and they will throw you out, So what is the use of earning money and giving to such, Why to create our, dig our own, they say graveyard, Keeping property for bad children. So if you have good children, if you can earn, that is well and good.
If you bring them up to 15, 16, that's all. After that, they take care of themselves.
Yeah. After that, they don't even, they will not be much. Actually, they need you till you're 15, 16. And then after that, they have their own friends. And the way you have brought up them, so they have their likings and dislikings and all those things. So our aim is to more focus should be given to make them Krishna conscious. Definitely, along with, definitely, I mean to say, in the end, they should not lament that, why materially, we are not well educated and all those things. I heard one clause by Urmila Mataji once she came to Pune. So that day, she was telling that, we should also take care of their material. I mean, basically, she was taking about the education. So in future, they should not lament, So even they want to do something, so that provision should be there. But mostly, what I feel nowadays, unfortunately, what I feel the parents. No, but actually, it is not that children are not capable to pick up Krishna conscious activity. See, now our elder son Premraj. So now 7 to 8 they have Vidyashram. But before that, half an hour, say 6:30 to 7, he does this flower plucking seva with some other devotees. So now I told this in my class to many other boys also many times. If they can come, they can also come. But nobody comes. And I told some parents also they can send their children. So now what I observed, unfortunately, in so many now 14 years I have been married, and in ISKCON. So. This is very unfortunate. Parents only don't want their children to be serious. Very unfortunate, actually. And I'm openly telling this. Parents only are not very serious to make their children serious. Maybe this reason that they themselves are not very serious. So this is very unfortunate. When they grow, it is not that every child is going to become brahmachari.
This reminds me of one point. In one assembly, I was telling that parents should teach children healthy eating habits, I was telling. Then I asked everybody, what does it mean by healthy eating habits? Many people were looking at each other, nobody was telling. And I asked, nobody knows what is healthy eating habits? So one of them raised hand and said, we know it, but we are very shy to say that. They said, what is it? We should not eat junk foods, they were telling. So can't you teach your children about not eating junk food? They said, we only don't know how to tell them because we ourselves are eating. Yeah. So this is why it becomes a challenge for the parents. If parents are not serious, then they can't tell the children to be serious, nor do they want the children to be serious. They want things to be slow sailing, like you said. Very good. Yeah.
So, I'm going to say, they have to realize this, always remembering that the statement by Chanakya, you think about, see what happens if you create good property for your children, and unfortunately they don't become serious, they will remain in ISKCON. Definitely, there one devotee, he was telling me, Prabhu, what is the problem if children are not chanting? Now his children they are like about teenage years now. They are 18, 20 years old, and they should at least chant one round. And they are like good Grihasta family. So he was telling me that what is the problem? We are going to be in ISKCON. Our children are going to be ISKCON. If they don't chant anyway, they are with us. They will chant eventually after. But there should be some impetus. There should be some systematic, some training kind of thing. Some encouragement to them at home, So if that is not provided, that is not given, so they are never going to pick up actually. And if parents have this understanding, what is the problem? We are in ISKCON anyway. They are not going to go anywhere else. Yes, they will remain in ISKCON, but they will. Radheshyam gives an example like cow goes to engineering college for 4 years. After 4 years, he is not going to get a degree. So just being in ISKCON. And you don't follow anything, you are not participating in services, you are not enthusiastically doing anything, doesn't assure, even those who are serious, for them also, nowadays it's very, people take very cheaply going back to Godhead, they think that when you die, definitely you are going to going back to Godhead. I mean, this is very common tendency that ISKCON devotees have. But this is, Bhakti Bhagavad Swami Maharaj, in his one of the classes he was mentioning, like as you grow in Krishna consciousness, you feel that definitely I'll never go. Everybody else will go, but I'll not go, So I'm going to say that understanding when you, grow in Krishna consciousness, when you become more and more mature, more serious, that feeling you get. And with that feeling, then you will definitely feel, oh, this is my situation, what happened to my children? See, the biggest problem is that they will roam around and they will end up in, just Prabhupada mentions that many of ISKCON followers, they will, they will land in heaven. So what will happen after 10,000 years they come back, What happened in next lifetime? My child will go to, he will become beggar, he will again take birth, become dog, cat. If that, as a parent, I always tell my wife, this should be our prime responsibility to make sure that, it may not be, we see that, we see them going back to Godhead, but at least we should see them, they are progressing on that path, going back to Godhead. So as a father, our main responsibility is to deliver them, at least make sure that they are very rigidly situated on that path, that they will definitely go back to Godhead. If that is missed, then everything, whatever you do, everything is just a flop show. What is the use of, running here and there and doing many things? So yes, actually, our 3 children, we feel we are always, we love actually. Actually, I'll definitely go for more children. But now age is also gone. Now time to take Vanaprastha. Like recently I was hearing Radheshyam is taking class for those who are above 45. Now I am already 42. So here is question for going for another child. But definitely more children means it's like a more prosperity, more happiness, more joy. If your children are Krishna conscious, at least your focus is to make them Krishna conscious. That activity itself give you a lot of joy, in Grihastha life actually. And I think that is a tool for Grihastas to make progress in Krishna consciousness.
Thank you. Beautiful. Haribol. One more question. Yes.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. I am seeing you from almost 2017. And it's a very inspiring to see that kids have shown my family members the pics of even Brajraj and Giriraj. They were so happy. Like these children are there like that. Thank you very much. And one question, Prabhuji, from my side, only in my entire family, I'm the only one who is practicing. So family members, nobody is into it kind of thing. They are wise, but they are not into it. And in future, if you go for marriage and all, family support will not get it. So another doubt is that we are saying being from wise trained, if some facility, it doesn't chant some days and goes, it breaks heart. It becomes very painful that some boy whom we brought him, he went to back it. When it comes to the children, if they just gone, we forget it. But when children, if they don't turn up to be Krishna conscious, or they just because of the some external circumstances, if they lose, it may be very painful, and we cannot just give up them or forget them because they are our children. There is attachment is there. So this thought frightens to even imagine also. And this is one doubt. And another doubt is that when I see like children, they just cry, shout, and many things.
I'll just answer your first question, because then answering first, second, or maybe I'll forget. So this question is actually, we have example from scriptures. This Anga, this. So he tried to his child, his Vena. He tried a lot to make him Krishna conscious, but eventually when he understood that he's a useless fellow, he was killing children, he was, doing all nonsense things, then he just gave up everything. So see, that's why I said now, the activity from our side, putting endeavors to make them Krishna conscious, that's all we can do. Now we don't know which is that soul who has, taken birth in our family, what was his background. We don't know anything actually. We have tried our best to conceive them as per Krishna conscious standards and everything, but still we don't know, right? But from our side, if you put an endeavor, I was hearing one class by Anand Vrindavan Prabhu, he was telling that in the end, he turns into devotee or not, that doesn't matter, but you will be happy, you will have the satisfaction. At least I tried my best. From my side, I tried best. I did everything that was possible, as a father, as a parent, from our side. And main thing in Grihastha ashram, what I feel, most of the encouragement, most of source of nourishment for children in Krishna consciousness come from family, actually, from home. So that's, yes, what you told actually, to keeping our home, you said about, parents are not devotees and all, but somehow, you must, adjust the situation where you can provide best possible Krishna conscious environment to the children, actually, very important. Otherwise what will happen, see, most of the, now, what happens, children come to a temple, they may hear something, but at home, if you are watching something on TV, now definitely TV is not there, but you are doing certain things which are not Krishna conscious, or which are, I will not say against Krishna consciousness, but which are not very Krishna conscious, which are not encouraging. The children will never become serious actually. You have to see, since we got children, there is hardly any day when we got up late, I'm saying whenever we got up, our children always sees us. We are sitting in front of altar, me and wife, we are sitting and we are chanting. So whenever they got up, either we are in temple or in the home, they see us, we are chanting in front of altar. Now what happens now? This since they, since their birth, I can say, they have this impression in their mind. This always very Krishna conscious. So morning. Even my younger kid, he never disturbs us in chanting because he knows morning time is only for spiritual activities. Evening when I come from, evening when I come back from office and by somehow, if, I could not finish my rounds, then that is very miserable for me. They just don't allow me to complete my rounds. So actually, at one time I also started. It was very painful for me. Like I used to come home. And if some rounds are left, Premraj used to pull my bid bag, because he wanted me to play with him. He used to pull the bid bag. But I just could not give him time. And my wife also used to scold me, So then what I started, I generally, our seva started 5 o'clock, starts generally 5 o'clock when I come to Pujari seva. So I used to get up 2 o'clock, and before 5 I used to complete all my rounds. And then I used to come for seva. So though it used to be little hectic, but in the evening when I used to come back, I used to spend at least some time with my child. So that was giving me a lot of satisfaction actually. I am doing justice to him actually. So evening, so if we take care of our spiritual activities properly, so children also, we have ample time for children also actually. And basically this, our chanting and, that happens in the morning only now. Actually, we have a lot of time for this, other activities also actually. That is what I heard from one devotee, that if you don't chant in the morning, during the day, whenever you chant, that is a wastage of time actually. You are wasting your time. So actually, sentence hit me so hard actually. So even if you chant during the day, that is you are wasting your time. So my God, let us complete. Anyway, you have to chant whatever.
Do you sleep at what time, get up at what time?
Yeah, generally, Prabhu, it's sometimes get very late for me because hectic job. Many times I sleep, 11:30, 12. But I have this habit that, I always get up around 4 o'clock.
My God, wonderful.
Yeah. So, but now somehow I could manage that, but it is not recommended. But I have that habit, and now, but I manage sometimes, taking some extra rest sometime whenever I get time, weekends and all. But yes. I'm trying to sleep earlier actually, but some of my office is not allowing. But by 10 at least we should go to sleep actually. That is best actually. If you sleep by 10, so if you get up by 4, you are fresh. Whole day you are fresh actually. Yes. So yeah, Prabhu. Actually, the first question is answered, Prabhuji. You are regarding your children, So you try your best. We can only try actually. We can only try. The result is ultimately it is between him and Krishna. Reciprocation between him and Krishna and whatever Krishna wants. But you will have the satisfaction that yes, I tried my best, and ultimately you are not going to be there till end of their life. What will happen to them, what they will do. You are going to be there only till end of your life, So you don't worry, we have to focus on our goal also. We have to also go back to Godhead. So after certain time, it's up to them actually. After 20 years, it's all, then they take charge of their life, then it's up to them. So we have to just put our endeavors and then leave rest everything to Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Prabhu, you can also explain it.
Thanks. What you said is very true. Yeah.
Just two things I want. One thing is that children will do a lot of noise, but I am observing from years that your children, whenever chanting is there, either they chant or go out or or they sit with the devotees and chant. That is how you are able to control them, not making noise while chanting, because that is one thing. And the second thing
so
is
they don't make noise, or I don't make noise?
They don't.
Because I can't make noise. I have to focus on my chanting. So I have to ignore them.
Children by nature, they will keep on doing noise.
He's asking how they have that good nature, he's asking.
Yeah, yes, I got it. Yeah.
And second thing is for myself to get up at 4 o'clock to keep that cycle, it took almost 2 to 3 years of my entire voice life. And these children from 6 months, they were able to come and sit with you kind of thing. So how you put there, that what to call early morning getting up and putting them to sleep also very tough. So how you set their daily cycle? What do you do?
No, actually for that my wife is very strict actually, making them sleep at 9 o'clock. She's very strict, and she does that. Somehow she manages that. Sometimes because of festivals and some programs, also sometimes it happens, that they don't sleep by 9. But generally, that is our regular routine, that they sleep by 9. We all try to sleep early. Only because of my schedule is little hectic, so that's unfortunate. But I'm also trying. Eventually, I also come back to the same schedule. And as far as children not this thing, children have same nature. You have to just see that they are engaged nicely. Say when we come here at home also, when we get up, we are chanting. They are engaged doing something. Some drawing, something. So my wife engages them very nicely. So you have to give them some nice engagement. Now when they come to temple, there are many other devotees. Now they have friendship with everybody. Vajraj is right from devotee who is 60, 70 year old till up. He says he's my friend. He's my friend. So everybody is friend. So they are engaged. They are doing something. They are with other devotees. So engagement to children is very important. Actually, in family, it is very important. Why children? The parents, those who complain, children are not doing well, is only because they are not able to engage them properly. That is the only reason actually what we have observed. If you give them proper engagement, they will never have this problem of children creating some disturbance. No, that doesn't happen. So give them nice engagement. That is the only solution. Because you can't make them chant. That is not their age now. They hardly understand. Now Premraj understands. He chants 2 rounds, but we can't force him. And what we heard that don't push children, don't force them to now come up to 10 rounds, come up to 16 rounds. No, that is not the way. By their interest eventually, but we have to make sure that at least they are engaged in Krishna conscious activities. That is very much important. Doing some seva, doing something, they are with devotees. So that eventually that will help them to take up other things also seriously in Krishna consciousness, specifically chanting, but not pushing them. So yes, Prabhu, I think that is the only way, just to keep them engaged, positive engagements in Krishna consciousness. And that we have to figure out as a parents, that is our responsibility to plan it, to figure it out, where they can suit, what they can do. Nowadays, unfortunately, parents only, they don't have time for their own things. So where is the question of, giving time? So then unfortunate things like putting them in front of, this laptop and then mobile, and those things come into picture. But if you can plan properly, they are very nicely engaged. And that what I can see for my children. Yes, that is the only solution.
Where are they getting their education, your children?
BMS actually, yeah. They are
2 of them, all 3 of them.
All 3 of them now, yeah. Yes. Giraj is now in junior KG, Prajar is in 1st, and Premraj in 4th. Yeah, yes, bro.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Actually, I'm recently married. My wife is not a devotee. So I just have one question. So when will I plan for the children? So I have to wait for she will become the devotee, or please suggest.
Yeah, actually, in some of the classes, what I heard, the child generally that we beget, it's his consciousness largely depends on consciousness of parents, actually, mother and father both. So the way your consciousness is, it will impact and it will invite that kind of soul. So yes, it is always recommended you wait for some time. I know you can take advice from other senior Grihastas also, but what I feel, going for a child in materialistic consciousness, is not good actually. You don't know what kind of soul you will invite, and then you will feel it would have been better we would have not child. So instead of lamenting, better to wait for some time. Both husband and wife, they should go for I mean to say, if they can wait for some year and then practice serious Krishna consciousness for 2-3 years, become very serious, very absorbed in Krishna conscious activities. And if they can think for children, it is very good actually. And the result is very good. rather than going for child immediately. I mean to say, if one of the partner is not very serious in Krishna consciousness. Yes, Prabhu. You can take advice from other senior Grihastas also.
And also, it is very difficult for a husband to make a wife into a devotee. We have seen that. Actually, you have to make her devotee through some senior lady. You are in counseling?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Who is your counselor?
Subalpriya Prabhu.
Okay. So now his... so Subhatra Brahmachari Subhatra Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
After that, you didn't accept any Grihastha counselor?
Not yet, Prabhuji, but I am connected with Anand Balaram Prabhu.
Anand Balaram Prabhu.
Yes.
So you should talk to Anand Balaram Prabhu and his wife and tell them that you are recently married and your wife is not yet a devotee. So Anand Balaram Prabhu's wife should call your wife, and she should first give her some practical engagements without, direct Krishna consciousness. Like if she's putting up some festival, at least monthly once, monthly twice, call her for prasadam, call her for making garland. So then your wife will feel that, oh, they are not pushing any philosophy on me, they are just calling me for activities. And that's how ladies very quickly become devotees. Actually, in Pune, many of our even counselors married some girl from the same caste based on what parents suggested. They were not devotees, but now all our section orders initiated also. So your wife will easily pick up through a Mataji. But if you try to give her Krishna consciousness, then the sweet relationship gets spoiled. Then she will think that my husband is a devotee, I am not a devotee, he is pushing me. And there will be unnecessary, unpleasant feelings. But it's really urgent, I will tell you, because if you don't give her an opportunity to become Krishna conscious, then the distance between husband and wife increases. Because she will think that you are too much into bhakti, and she will not like that. And you will be unhappy that she is too materialistic. So that only increases distance. But if you put her in touch with some Matajis, especially the Mataji whom she likes very much. Counselor is always there, but apart from, like my sister's daughter came here, she got a job in Pune. At that time, she was having friends who are all Christian girls in South India. So those girls were telling, why do you're Hindu, you get converted and become like us and all that. So she had many questions about one God and multiple gods and all that. So my sister was worrying what is going to happen to her. But when she came here and got a job, I connected her to one Mataji here. At that time, one Pallavi Mataji. Now she's initiated Ujjwal Radhe Mataji. As soon as she connected with her, in 2 months, she came to 16 rounds. Just within 2 months. And she became attached to her like an elder sister. And she went to her home for festivals and doing many services. Now she's initiated devotee now. So without delay, you should connect. Yeah.
Prabhu, I can say, add one point to this. Yes. Prabhu, this regarding making wife very serious. From my own example, what I say now, so setting a very good example as a husband is very much important actually. I learn through, most of us learn through, going through tough situations. But now one devotee told me, your wife must have respect for you actually. A lot of respect actually. And that respect will come when you follow the Krishna consciousness principles very properly. If you focus more on, performing your sadhana, if you have very good sadhana, very good seva bhav, and also you are performing your, material duties properly, the wife will develop very good respect for you. And that respect will bound her to follow you. When wife has a lot of respect for husband, I have seen actually there are, cases where girl come from a very non-devotional family, but looking at mature and Krishna conscious behavior of husband, she picks up very fast. Within 1-2 months, there are some cases where Mataji started chanting 16 rounds, Why? Because they have that respect. And if that respect is not there, then whatever you do, everything is going to fail. Just to make a show that you are just, I'm good devotee, running here, running there. Mainly I'm, talking basically for getting up early and, chanting your rounds, doing your sadhana very nicely. Very important actually. Wife will have so much of respect for you that whatever may happen, you get up early, you attend morning, you come to temple, whenever there is opportunity, you render some services, you have good relation with other devotees. These few things, if you take care, she will definitely have a lot of respect and she will follow whatever you say, she will follow actually. This is my, what cases I have seen, and in my personal example also I feel wife has respect, because only thing I am very good in certain things. I am not good in many things, but I am good in certain things which forces my wife to appreciate me. So I mean to say for Grihasta it's very important, this balance between spiritual and what is balance actually? Just doing what we are supposed to do. That is actually balance. We are supposed to chant early in the morning. We should chant early in the morning. We are supposed to come to temple whenever there is opportunity. At least there is holiday. You are coming to temple. So that is balancing. And you are supposed to go to job. You go and earn money. So balance is that actually what I feel. So if you do that nicely, definitely your wife will have a lot of respect. So even she comes from non-devotional family, non-devotee family, she will pick up very fast. So just make sure that now, otherwise, I have seen cases where, miserably devotees end up into divorce. Staying in voice program, getting trained in voice program for 7-8 years, and then getting divorced, I think is a pathetic situation actually. It should not happen. What to speak, I have seen outside people are living so nicely, those who are not devotees. What to speak of we should live? I mean, we should inspire others. Outside people we should give encouragement. Why not to go for divorce and setting up good example? And now they are pointing, your devotees are getting divorced. So very bad. Why? Because only this immaturity, not having an immaturity means not following proper strictly. And I'll tell you frankly, in this open forum, those cases I have studied, 2-3 cases, I never saw them in morning program in temple. Frankly speaking, they were there running around doing some services here, there, for making a show. Ultimately, it's a big flop. If you just want to do things just to impress your wife that how good devotee you are, and without taking care of your core Krishna conscious activities, main thing for Grihastha is sadhana is very important actually. Getting up early in the morning and chanting his rounds is very important actually. You should never miss this. Or wherever there is opportunity, coming to main thing, coming to temple, and that is the best if you can come to temple and chant. But at least at home, getting up early before your wife gets up, and because she is non-devotee. Otherwise, in the bed, she is kicking you, get up. If that is happening, it's a pathetic situation actually. That should never happen. So, setting up good example as a husband is very important actually. She will definitely follow. She will become wonderful devotee if you can, set up a good example actually. Mature Krishna conscious person.
Good, brilliant, wonderful point.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, few days back, I just overheard a case that one of the devotees, means couple, they got divorced. They had one kid, and they got divorced. So my question was that Mataji gave a reason that the salary which he earns is not sufficient to meet the needs of the family. So she got divorced from that person. So my question is that one of the devotees said that in general the psychophysical of nature of women is like that, they're insecure, right? So is money that factor that which makes woman love a man, or is there anything such as really love, or they are just behind the love, or we are just a instrument to fulfill their insecurities?
See, frankly speaking, woman's nature is like that. If you are earning in crores, if you get in billions, still they will not be happy. It is our behavior, how you behave in at home. What I'll say simply that it is to a great extent depends on husband. When you live in family, life should be very simple. I was hearing one in one of the class of Amog Leela Prabhu again. He was telling in Delhi, in Dwarka, where in their congregation there is one family. They are earning 15,000 rupees, and he was giving this latest. I think 5-6 months back I heard. He was telling that there is couple they are earning only 15,000 rupees per month. Husband is earning 15,000. In that they host one program, weekly program in their house, and they also celebrate festivals. And happy family. They are coming to temple, rendering services, attending morning programs whenever they get time, especially weekends. And there are families who are earning in lakhs, but and still they are always in short. There is fight between husband and wife, for not having proper finances. So now, what is the problem? Person earning 15,000, he can also do wonderful. He can go on nicely. It depends on how you are living your life actually. So one thing in Grihastha ashram is simplicity actually. simplicity does not mean you have to live very poor life. Simplicity in the sense that you should understand where to spend money and where not to spend money actually. There are things where you have to spend, but there are also things where even you don't spend, doesn't matter. So simplicity is very much important actually. That and the Mataji, I don't know, but is very unfortunately somebody Mataji is giving example. I am divorcing only because So we have example of Sudama in Krishna Lila. What was his situation actually? He was begging every day, and still we never heard his wife spoke, "I will divorce you." So it totally depends on, and mostly because you all are from Nityanand Sabha, it mostly depends on husband actually. What I have seen, uh, you try to live a life in such a way that your wife will have respect for you. If you, that is the only solution, that is the only thing I can think of. There is no question of divorce, there is nothing. So respect, and respect means, in the sense, if you are very good in your Krishna conscious principles, following your Krishna conscious principles, definitely these things will never happen actually.
Being a respectable person, then why it should be the case with wife?
Sorry, what is that?
Means you said that we should set a standard that the wife should appreciate us, right? But our parents and our friends, they don't respect us on that basis. They love us unconditionally, right? Means even if you are not respected in society, they will still love us. But why is that we have to set a standard so that wife will follow us?
See, what I observed now, Prabhu, because they think that he is trained in such a nice program, so they look at us as an ideal person. Any girl who is marrying a boy, she feels that he is an ideal person, and definitely when they are marrying a devotee, so they want to see all ideal qualities as a devotee. So after marriage, if they get disappointed, that person is actually, and that is actually case what happened in some cases. They found that after marriage, this fellow is just he's good for nothing. Neither he's good in his sevas, neither good is in sadhana. So they lose all that respect actually. So that is the problem. That's why I'm again and again stressing. You must have heard from Radheshyam Prabhu also. Like it doesn't matter what kind of wife you get. But if you raise yourself to such a platform, such a standards, then definitely it helps a lot actually. But if you are not following that standard, you haven't raised yourself to a certain platform, then even if you get devotee wife, you will always end up in trouble. Even wife is very good, but you will have problems. But if you have good Krishna conscious practice for yourself, even there is some problem with wife, but Krishna will give you intelligence how to tackle the situation, and you can still nicely go on in Krishna conscious. That is my personal experience actually, personal realization actually. So it's totally depend on you actually, how you want to lead your life. So focus on that, and other things, then you can live up to Krishna. Then focus on things on which you have control, rather than worrying on things which are beyond your control. Why to unnecessarily worry on those things? Just focus on where you can do better in Krishna consciousness. So just focus on those things. Yes. So that will definitely help.
Thank you, bro.
Also, I want to say something. You see, if a man is marrying a woman, a man may assume that because she is married to me now, she should have a natural affection for me. I am a husband, she is my wife, parents have got us married together. And that is not what happens in the real life. Because the girl, she has her own set of expectations from the husband. And you, as a husband, you have certain set of expectations from the wife also. Independent of what expectations your parents have got from her parents. Because each are jivas now. Your mother has some, 3-4 expectations. Father has 3-4. And your expectations from wife is different from those. Correct, no? You may be thinking that they have got us married, so she should live happily with me. No, she has her expectations from you. So now, if she, at the time of engagement, the boy and girl will be given chance to speak to each other. And that is one occasion where about 15 minutes to half an hour you talk. You come to understand her mindset, she understands your mindset. So in Bhagavatam, 2 words are used, yatha ruchi, yatha mati. It means ruchi means taste. If she has a material taste and you have a spiritual taste, then match is not good. Like you are a serious devotee and she is not interested at all in devotional service. It's not a very good match. Now, you are also a devotee, and you know, in devotee also there is this type of devotee and this type of devotee, correct? So if she also is either this level or this level, that also, if somebody is standing 2 rounds, we try to get a girl who is also 2 rounds. Somebody is 16 rounds, somebody is initiated. Accordingly, get them. The whole idea is they should be having some kind of balance in their. There should not be too much difference between the two. That is ruchi, taste. If the girl is having a taste for money is honey, big house, lavish facilities, car, my husband should be a material hero, and he should be bringing a lot of money. Maybe she has expectation, but her parents have got her married to you without telling her expectations to you, because they thought her parents are devotees, you are devotee, they got you married. But then she is not such a serious devotee. She has big expectation from you. Therefore, prior to engagement, you are given a chance. In that, you can ask frankly, what are your expectations from me as a husband? So you take notes or you record. You're like, yeah, correct, no? There it becomes very clear. Some girls openly say that, unless you are making 10 lakh per annum, I may not consider your match. Like that she may say. That means she wants money. It becomes very clear. There are some girls who say that, I am looking for a shelter of a devotee. If you are a devotee, you get initiated. Even if you are earning mediocre amount of money, if you can just put up a family, I am happy. Mother Sita was told by Anasuya in the Ramayana that husband may sometimes be a billionaire, sometimes he may become a beggar. That happened to Ram. Ram was supposed to become king of the world. Then he was sent to forest. And then Anasuya tells Sita that in either case, the wife should never give up the husband. Whether husband has a healthy body or he has a sickly body. Husband is a billionaire or is a beggar. Husband is, whatever position husband may be in, despicable position, the wife should never give him up. And Sita tells her that, my mother taught me the same things, she says also. And then she says, how can I give up Ram? 5 things she says. My dear husband, he is most gentle. He is completely controlled in his senses. And he is an abode of ocean of good qualities. And like that she says 5 qualities about the husband, and then she says, now I cannot be separated from him even for a moment. The same point what he says, if a wife considers the husband a hero, why will she leave? But she should be looking for a spiritual hero. If she is looking for a material hero, and you are not bringing enough money, wife can subtly and sarcastically criticize the husband also. It will be very painful for the husband. Therefore, the match should be proper. Yatharuchi. Mati means what? Temper. Temperament means, husband is naram. If wife is also naram is very good. Or one is naram, one is garam, that is also all right. But both garam, no. That lead to divorce. Both are hot tempered, She is shouting, her husband is also shouting, then they will end up in divorce. They will develop hatred for each other. But generally, they will see Asuragan, Devagan, no? Even if wife is Asuragan, husband is Devagan, then the family goes on, because husband is attached to wife. And wife is a little strong natured, still family goes on. And it goes on because she may be strong to him, but he will tolerate. Because he wants her. So he will tolerate. Therefore the family won't separate. But the husband is strong, and wife is Devagan, they won't match. Because if she is very tender nature, husband is very strong nature, then she will leave him. She will divorce him and go. So the case where you were telling about somebody went for divorce, there may be more subtle things in that. For example, there are husbands I know personally, they have become laparwai, irresponsible. Like there is one man, his wife is fed up with him because he doesn't do any job. He was working in the temple for some time, and he gave up the job, told wife to bring dowry from her home. He is saying, goes to Vrindavan for 2 weeks. He wears Radhe Radhe Chadar. He's saying. So then the wife thinks, how can I have a irresponsible husband like this? Husband has 3 duties: protector, provider, and guide. So he has to protect the wife from other men. And also he should protect the wife by, emotionally also he has to protect her. Not let her crumble down. Because of society, we're living in a very challenging society. Then provider means he has to do job, earn money, and put up the home, maintain the family. That's the duty of the husband. And guide means he's a material guide, spiritual guide. For the family, he should be like a captain. So much so that the wife respects him, that yes, he's a capable man. If I follow him, my life will be safe and secure. She should feel that. But some husbands don't do these things. They don't guide, like he rightly said. They may not do their spiritual life properly, material life properly. They are very irresponsible. Then wife feels that, why did I marry this fellow? She feels, I made a mistake in my life. She thinks like that. So many times when a man talks to you, he will talk to you as if wife is very bad and he is very good. And then when wife is talking to somebody, then nobody knows what is true. So therefore, you have to take a total picture. When you see one side picture, it's difficult to know. When families separate. But as he rightly said, most families who separate are husband, wife having lots of material expectations from each other without becoming serious in devotion service. Like you can see wonderful families like Bhavatarani Mataji and Hare Krishna Prabhu. You can see them many times. Mataji is carrying that lightweight table and husband is carrying the book bag. And they have a small son also. They put up a table, they put the books, and years together, every day they bring 100 to 150 books score. You can see that. Simple family. You will see that how fixed up they are. Because as he rightly said, if you are fixed up in Krishna consciousness, your material expectations reduce. Drastically they reduce. Even if husband is making less money, it's all right for the wife. Because she will say that my husband is a very noble fellow, man of character. I know one family in Hyderabad, one man comes to temple. Now he is probably 43, 44 now. So this man had a job before and now he saved some money, he saved. And then his father, ancestral property is there, own house is there. And he has only one daughter now. And now every day morning he comes to temple, whole morning program he will serve in temple. And almost till half of the day he will be distributing books and all. Second half of the day he goes home. And his wife is so happy with him for his Krishna consciousness. She has told him that now whatever money we have is enough for our life. Once we get our daughter married, we have no other responsibility. So I met both husband and wife. Wife was telling me, Swamiji, I am very happy with my husband. That is very Krishna conscious. And she has told him also, you don't have to do anything. Just to spend half day in the temple, half day at home, do the things, and I will manage the home, no problem. So that means wife has no big material expectation from the husband. So that therefore we should not marry with wrong expectations. Correct, no? That's where the problems come. So one should be clear before putting head or entering into that relationship. One should be very clear. Yeah. That was a good question. There are two questions. Please give the mic to.
How much does the type of job affect our missionary spirit and preaching engagements?
Could you please repeat the question, Prabhu?
He's saying how much, for example, if your job is more time taking, how does it affect our missionary spirit?
Yes. No, definitely it affects actually. I'm going to say you should have, if job is consuming all your energy, like 16, 17 hours.
You get drained out.
Where is question to, focus on spiritual engagements. Like what I am experiencing in my own case. Like, I have good sadhana, morning sadhana, but when I go to office, I come back like 11 o'clock. So after that, where is question, where you can think of, engagement, doing some program or something, no? So definitely it affects actually to a great extent. So yeah, but I don't know situation because initially few years back, I think Prabhuji also used to encourage people to give up IT and come to teaching job, But now teachers are not getting salary, they are not getting salary only. So now what to do? So whatever is available, try to make best use of bad bargain, whatever is in your plate and try to make best out of it. During whole week, if I am not available, at least I should see whenever there is opportunity, like weekend I have time. So devote more time for those Krishna conscious activities on weekend. It is not that, definitely there is work Monday to Friday, but Saturday, Sunday we are available. So whenever there is time, I am telling that, and then spend that time for Krishna conscious activities and make best use of whatever you have. So that is the only solution what I can think. Prabhu can explain more. But at this current scenario, what I feel, that is the only available option. And going for lesser job and all, yes, definitely devotees can think of that, like Anand Vrindavan Prabhu, he had made his mind. In life, I'll, achieve either this money or this age, whatever. Suppose he has decided 50 years of age. If I don't achieve this much of money, then also I'll retire. Yeah. And if I achieve this much of money within 40 years, then I'll retire. So, any of you can make such plan. Sometimes, devotees also get carried away by that. It really requires a lot of determination. Like Prabhu tells many times in his classes that, people go to abroad and then eventually they settle there only, never to come back. They go with motivation that I will earn good money, I will come back and so what to say? So if you really have to be, focused actually. Otherwise, you can just get carried away by, there is no end to how much you can earn. And, so this, I really like this Anand Undrapu's point, either this age or this much money, that's all. Unfortunately, by that age, if I don't make, no problem, now time has to come to,
wind up.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I feel that there are many dependent factors. I'll tell you, for example, in college days, if you studied well, you got good marks, you got placed in a placement company which came to your college, for example, then many things go smoothly for you. Because you got placed, there was no time gap. 3-4 years you worked in a company, you got experience, then you hop and jump to another company, because you had a good study academics, then you got a good career, then you have a command over your subject, you have command over the job you are doing. Then gradually from 21 to 33, 34, so 10, 12 years you spent in your job. You are not just growing a number of years, but you are also growing in terms of, doing newer things, innovative things. You are looking ahead of the market and opportunities and all. Then the company feels you are valuable in the company. Then you will see that hundreds of people will be working under you, and then you will be giving vision, direction and everything to the people. Then company cannot spare you. Company will never want to go. But as he said, imagine you join at 21 and you are doing coding or something. 35 also you are doing coding. But your salary has become 5 times, 6 times more. Now what the company will think? What is the need of this person? He is doing coding, he is doing coding. So then they will remove you and put a newcomer there in your place. And then your experience in only, stereotyped job will not be of much value even if you want to go to another company. Another company will ask you, what are your achievements? What have you done? So this becomes a very great challenge nowadays. All of us have to see what to speak of all of you, working student people, even brahmacharis. See, now brahmachari, when we send them out for preaching, brahmacharis have to prove themselves. Otherwise, nobody wants in the outside world. Say, corporate company is calling. Will they accept any brahmachari from temple for lecture? He should have the knack of presenting those type of seminars. You agree? Similarly, Grihastas want to call a brahmachari for a special program in their house. 100, 200 people are coming. Will they go for any mediocre brahmachari or a very, whom they feel as very qualified? What do you think? That means, even for sadhus, it has become like that now. What to speak of even working people? They will say whether the brahmachari can sing sweetly, whether he can speak, cogently, he can speak, can impress our people whom we are bringing, or he will do a mediocre performance and our audience won't be happy. People think like that, no? So, if you prove yourself in either professional field or devotional field, then there is a lot of market. Here comes the challenge. What is the challenge that comes here? All of us are born with some set of skills, some set of abilities, capabilities, which come due to prarabdha karma. Correct, no? Everybody cannot be very heroic. So most people are average. So if I am average in spiritual life, average in material life, then what? Then there is one more possibility. What is the possibility? there are 8 type of intelligences. You know that, right? Slim bill, you know that? Spatial, visual, linguistic, interpersonal, musical, bodily kinesthetic, and intrapersonal, linguistic, and natural. Totally, there are 8. So you have to find out in which field you have that inclination. Like, there is one housewife, one Mataji in Pune, Mohini Radhika Mataji. She had inclination in that, she had a desire that we should make some, natural prasadam with dry fruits and everything, and it should go to a large number of people. She had that desire. She was Satyavati Mataji, Radhika Mataji's counseling. Now she started in a small way. Now she has got 2 dozen ladies under her. They are taking this dry fruit and making different type of preparations, neatly packing in a very fine manner. It goes to posh houses, it goes. Big people it goes. Now she took it up 5-6 years ago. Now they are like big business she is doing, sitting at home. And she is not doing anything. She only has employees, but she is giving shape to her vision. Here I am telling you, even a lady can be organized lady or a manager. You understand what I am saying? In the same manner, each of you have to find out. Now she has the ability to organize, manage, and bring 2 dozen ladies and get the work done, and the factory is increasing now. Sitting at home she is doing. Now her daughter also has joined her. But you have to remember that she personally offers each of those prasadam that's made. And she's an initiated disciple. And she feels that this prasadam will, touch the lives of so many people, So it's going all over the world now. So you can also come up with ideas and think, which out of these 8 areas you are good at. And if you are good at it, you should venture into that field. That is called as your USP, we call it. Unique selling point or unique potential. Correct? So once you identify what it is, and in that direction, even if you make little effort, the returns will be very great because you already have talent in that field. Most of us actually go in a wrong field and then we face a lot of headache and the work appears burdensome for us. So there are various directions you can take in that connection. Therefore, our Prime Minister of India also started the Skill India. You know that, no? If you go to Govardhanako village also, they have a training in skills nowadays. GKVK, they call it, correct, no? Govardhan, Kaushal, Vikas Kendra, they have. So, go to such places and ask them, what is my varna? Where will I fit well? What can I do? There are people nowadays who can give you guidance also in your career. So if you identify, there are many people who are nowadays making money without much working hard. Sitting at home in computer, like there is one of our congregation members sitting at home and making embroidery just 2 hours a day. And that lady is making 70,000 monthly. Only 2 hours a day she works, that's all. And she's making, because she has the knack of making designs, embroidery. She only has to make in computer and send it, that's all. And she doesn't have to touch any of the clothes, sewing, nothing. She just makes design and sends. So, identify your potential, engage their potential, make quick money, and save your time for Krishna. That's what I would say. And have enough time for Krishna. And if you have enough time for Krishna and you are serious about Krishna consciousness, then Krishna will give you guidance also on how you can mold your life. Because the more you are serious in Krishna consciousness, clarity comes with that. Yeah. That was a good question. Yeah. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Actually, Prabhuji, most of the Matajis, like you mentioned, where we can say that they were from a kind of a previous generation. Like if we see the modern psychology of women, if we see whatever the psychologists have to say, like for example, the Tinder survey was conducted and they found out that men can find 60% of the women attractive, but women generally find only 2% of the men as attractive or heroic in nature. So we see that, and they have concluded based on the other factors also, that most of the women generally are unhappy in their marriages because their heart is always with those 2% heroic men, and most of them are just because they by force, kind of, you can say, by nature or whatever you can say, that they have to get married. And as you mentioned, like regarding money, the Puranas also, Purna Pranya Prabhu there mentioned that the test of a woman is when her husband does not have money. So you had at that time ancestral property and something like that. But many men who will not have ancestral property or let us say the laws, there are many cases where women have just thrown them like a garbage. So they have just discarded them and not care of them. And the laws currently are such that anyhow, if husband's mistake was there, woman's mistake was there, woman will get maintenance from a man. Even if the man does not want, even if the woman has harassed a man, and the children will most likely go to that woman only. So isn't it like, as we can say that, like most reality now is that marriage is like kind of destroyed only currently. That it's rare that it will get successful. This is my question.
So I'll try, with my little understanding, little knowledge. Radheshyam Prabhu can put more focus on that. But in ISKCON, actually, what I've seen, then both the parties come together, and I would say they understand each other's background, and they identify, whether match will be suitable or not. So at least, if you have gone through that process, then at least after marriage, adjusting background is not a very big challenge actually. So at least that one problem is solved. And now, as you said, the nature of one is, in one sense that they just don't find only 2% people are heroic for them. But what my understanding is that after marriage, if man, he sets very good example, so eventually he turns up into a very good hero for that particular wife. Actually, that really happens. Why Krishna consciousness? Why that cannot happen? Everything changes actually. But in my personal case also, I can tell you that before coming to ISKCON, I come from a very simple village background, and but things are changed very drastically actually after coming to Krishna consciousness. It's very, sometimes I feel sitting here now with Radheshyam Prabhu, I never had even imagined in my it's just so such miracle can happen with me. I mean, after Krishna consciousness, things are changed a lot. But from our side, just taking these materialistic calculations and statistics and bringing them and try to see them in Krishna consciousness, actually Krishna consciousness is a different paradigm actually. It's a different world altogether. There is mercy of Krishna, mercy of Guru, mercy of Vaishnavas. So everything comes into picture actually. Things change actually quite a lot. You have to just give a try. Try in the sense you have to put your efforts. So you put your effort, try to be, good example from your side. Try to be very mature. See, serious devotee does not mean that you are just, chanting and neglecting everything else. Serious devotee means you are, more you become serious, more you become sensitive to feelings of others actually. Even your parents are non-devotees, you will take care of them, you will love them more because you know that this body is awarded to me by them, they are responsible for bringing me into this world. So you are grateful to them, you take care of them. Your wife is non-devotee because she is ultimately, I am responsible for her taking, it is my responsibility to cultivate her. So you try all possible ways to make her Krishna conscious. So more you become serious, more you become sensitive, more, actually, what I'll say, you will try to make your character more, not 100%, but so definitely you will become a hero eventually, for opposite person. So just try and just understand that there is mercy of Krishna, mercy of Vaishnavas, Gurus. So things will definitely work. So don't have to worry this materialist statistics. It doesn't apply on devotee actually. That is my personal opinion actually. You don't have to worry about them at all. But just focus on your Krishna consciousness. Focus on your own role in Krishna consciousness. That is more important. So other things will definitely will be revolve around. Yes, Prabhuji can speak more.
Actually, the outside world, the statistics that you are hearing about is talking about totally materialistic people. Their lifestyle is like dogs and cats, if you see. There are girls in Pune who are smoking also. They are smoking, they are drinking, and they roam around with playboys in the college. They use the boys like use and throw.
That is now everywhere, Prabhuji. That is becoming everywhere now.
Everywhere. And if you see some boy has money, the girl will go with him everywhere. When money is over, she will throw him and get another boy. This outside world is like that. But in devotional circle, because I am also dealing with teachers who are dealing with girls, and I am also dealing with teachers who are dealing with boys. I know as much as all of you sitting here are afraid about your partner, you should be a proper partner, you should not be a demon, you should not be... Same way, they also have fear. Huh? They also have fear that, in fact, they are more fearful, we can say. Huh? So therefore, if you marry a girl who is known in devotee community, for example, we are starting our devoteematch.com. You know that? You have not told them, Radhi Prabhu? Actually, you have not yet heard about it? We have started, Rasamrita Gaur Prabhu is in charge for that. Rasamrita Gaur Prabhu. Actually, we called it as Dad Mom before, but now it is called devoteematch.com. We are going to have about 500 boys, 500 girls in that, approximately. So, we are getting matches from all over the country. And each of these boys, each of these girls have a counselor also, who knows the boy or the girl very well. So, somebody is known, coming from a very good family and practicing devotion service from childhood, very sober, well behaved. And actually, many of the girls trust that if boys are trained in voice or yoga, they presume that he must be a gem. They think like that. But as he rightly said, unfortunately, some of the boys who have passed out from voice, they set a bad example. And some wives have even complained to me, Radheshyam, I married this fellow thinking he's a voice boy. He doesn't get up before 7 o'clock. They come and complain. And then I call the voice manager, hey, Prabhu, I am getting this complaint. So, Prabhuji, in voice also he was giving problem. And they say like that. So, he only has the certificate that he graduated from voice. So, they are also, as much as you are all afraid, they are also afraid. But we can only do one thing. You make a very careful approach to choosing a life partner. But at the same time, there is also prarabdha karma, which is coming. But in some people's lives, there is a karma that you are going to have a wife who is going to trouble you. That's already written in our forehead for somebody. Then what should a devotee do? You accept it as a fact of life and go on with your Krishna consciousness. Like all of us sitting here, you have some complication in your body. Somebody has an asthmatic problem. Somebody has a bone problem. Correct, no? Somebody has a digestion problem. Everybody has some problem. So what do you do with that problem? You can't end your life also. So you tolerate the problem, keep taking medicines and go on with life. Same thing you do with the partner also. But I don't say that you just close your eyes and do it. What I'm saying is, before choosing a partner, put your best efforts to ensure that the partner is from a good family and the expectations are properly understood. Everything. And then you also set a good example, as you rightly said. You check yourself. Many times we are struggling with ourselves also. Ourself means our mind. Our mind is creating a lot of problems many times. And due to our mind, we are lethargic, we are lazy, we are not serious, our chanting is pathetic, we are not studying proper books, our mind is running towards materialistic things, and we are also suffering. Just as you are suffering, they are also suffering. You understand, no? Just like we have, how many of you understand that we are into a big soup hour, we have problems, you understand? You understand, no? So they also have problems. So two problemed people come. In that, what we can do, amongst the problem people, we can see who is practicing, in a very balanced way. Three balances you have to do, three things: family, profession, and devotion. Correct, no? So you have to balance, they have to balance, and then come together. Take help of this devoteematch.com. So, see, Adhati Prabhu, we are routing it through voice centers and, brahmacharis and seniors like that. Huh? Voice centers. I'm saying about devoteematch.com. Yeah. No, that is true. But they have to register, no? If they don't register directly, where will they go? They have to, are they given the links? See, Rasamrita Prabhu is connected to many leaders in almost a dozen temples or 15 temples. Correct, no? So I would like to see them going through those leaders. Not just directly go and register in devoteematch.com, because if they directly match, tomorrow some problem happens. So if they are, every one of them is under some leader, correct, no? See, either that leader has not told them or they are not aware, whatever. Yeah. See, recently, back and forth, including myself also, 25, 30 mails have gone recently. How it started, a devotee and devotee match, marriage, opportunity, membership. It's called dad, mom, we call it. Devotee and devotee match, marriage, opportunity, membership. Dad, mom. This I had made almost 15, 20 years ago. But nobody was giving that biodata. People were saying, "Papi, abhi shaadi nahi karna hai, baad mein." Nobody gave. So eventually it flopped. But recently we have done a new thing. We have arranged one Grihastas devotee, Samrat Kaur Prabhu in Pune, and he connected with one devoteematch.com, which is already there in ISKCON. And they have already many addresses of multiple gurus, disciples also. What I would like to do is, see that if our devotees are, we also have identified matchmakers from each of the communities, Kanpur, Calcutta, Bangalore, Hyderabad, wherever we have sent devotees from Pune also, all those places. But what I was telling you, we are not opening it like to the whole world. They are not doing it. See, these fellows will know that the match they are getting is connected to Pune. Why I am saying this? Because connected to Pune means there are like Achyuta Mahaprabhu, for example, in Varanasi. Premananda Prabhu is in Kanpur. Acharya Prabhu is in Calcutta. If any of them is going to choose a girl in any of these communities, they have the opportunity to check with those leaders who are connected to us. Tomorrow, they have the opportunity to little bit more do. But otherwise, imagine if they go to devoteematch.com and then choose anybody from any part of the world, we will not be able to help them at all. Yeah. Correct. Yeah, correct. Yes, correct. Yeah, correct. But they will not connect to Radheshyamdas group also directly. They will go through whichever community they are in. Like Radheshyamdas group has 14 people now, I think. So what we have done, for each of the temple, Pune, who is there? Okay, Pune is Radheshyamdas group, okay. For Kanpur, there is one person. Like that, each temple we have chosen, one Grihasta devotee. So my suggestion to all of you, you get your name registered with Radheshyamdas group. We all know Radheshyamdas group, who is it? So you can give them the phone number and number also you can give. Phone number and email also you can give them. And you can tell him that, Prabhu, when you are connecting us to anybody in any community, we also want to know the girl, who is she and, who is vertical above her. Correct? Huh? Vertical means above her father, who is her father connected to. If it is connected to somebody known to us, it is even more better. Correct? No? So that was the point I was making. If you register, then you have opportunity and they also have opportunity. We want to increase the number of that. Otherwise, marriage bureau is going very slow. You know that now marriage bureau, they take only initial devotees. It takes sometimes many years if the match doesn't come. And finally, people go for matching in their own family and then varieties of problems. So recently we have been working on this. Now it is almost, lot of work has been done. Very neatly procedures are made. For example, if any one of you registered, first they will give one match to you. If your parents are not happy with that, then they'll give the second match to you, like that. Then they'll give a third match. You can check like that. They're made like that. And you will also be given an opportunity. But it is not that this devotee match will get you to the ultimate point of getting you married. They will only connect you and then you and your parents have to take it ahead. It is between the two families. And if you go and say that due to some reason, we didn't want this match, you have to tell them, then they'll give you another one. Again, you have to go through the process. Why we are leaving it to both the parents? Because you are a devotee, but your parents may have many other expectations also. They may have financial expectations, many other things also. So we are leaving it to the two families, like that. So one last question, somebody else had? Yeah, one last. Yeah. All must be hungry for prasad now. Prasad ready?
Regarding the education for the kid. So what we have heard, even what Prabhupada said, that modern education is slaughterhouse of spiritual life. So here in Pune, there is very good example of this BMS school which can help, but maybe some other city or some other place that if you have to educate the kid, and the education system is also so made that if you go through that, then only live, what we say, that getting settled in life become easier for them. Otherwise, it is little bit tricky or
almost every community has their own school nowadays.
Okay.
They may not have a BMS type of big school. You go to Delhi, for example, you go to Ujjain, you go to Hyderabad. Hyderabad, we have Gurukul also now, and we have a school started in Singapore city. There are 25 children there. Now all the ISKCON communities are woken up now. They know that children are getting ruined in their schools. It's teachers are all characterless, many of the outside schools. And they are singing Hollywood, Bollywood songs from second standard, third standard only. Every community has some school. And also, if you are really keen that there are some parents who are living in another city and they're sending their children to BMS, you know that? Yeah, they're coming and living in Pune. Mother and children are living here. Father is working in another city. Because they want, like if you go to Juhu, they have a school. Pune has a school. Delhi has school. Avanti schools have started in 5-6 places in India, if you know. So, whichever community you are going to, when you go to the temple, immediately, and there are many communities doing homeschooling also. Like I was in Dallas. They have some 20-30 children coming together in homeschooling. All parents are helping each other. Same thing in Hyderabad also. There are many parents helping each other. And this is not a very big problem nowadays. And Arudha Mataji and Urmila Mataji and, Prana Prabhu and Radhika Mataji, Heman Gopanthi. These people have made a lot of materials nowadays. Many, teachers are getting help also nowadays. That's not a big problem. It was a big problem before. Now communities are all, they're all waking up now. And children are having very good opportunity. Like he said, parents should have the seriousness to send their children to such a school. There are many parents who may not send. They may want children to go somewhere else also. If they want, there's opportunities there. One last, somebody else had a hand up here. Yes, Prabhu. Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
So my question was, Broji, you explained about the kind of job lifestyle and how much time we are going to give to our spiritual life. So currently in my working life, the problem which I'm facing is after returning back from my job, I'm almost getting exhausted and all the energy is getting drained. So even though I know that I need to do my sadhana, after coming, I need to give some time to spirituality also, but that physical energy is also drained up. Physical and mental energy is completely drained up. So what I can do for improving in this aspect?
In this case, dedicate your morning for services, for sadhana. See, I'll tell you, if you go early to the office, still you have to sit late. That generally that is a scenario, many times. In my case, at least I have seen. So better, focus the time which is available in the morning. So you can have nice sadhana, you can render some services in temple, and then you can go to office. That is the best. And also on a weekend, try to do as much as possible. So if not morning, then in the evening. But generally evening it's not possible, then at least dedicate your morning part for services and sadhana. That you can do. That is what, Prabhu, you want to say something on that?
Actually, the modern day type of jobs, like IT jobs, are extremely draining. So you're sitting in the computer 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours. What I would say is there should be some people in our community who take lead in businesses, in which they can give employment to the other boys. Small businesses which are not, like I was telling you, there's one fellow who started Sattva, one hotel in Bangalore. Now he has multiplied in many places now. There are people who are doing food products, Food products means packaging, foods, and even one of our congregation devotees wanted to do that. There are many businesses. If you meet His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj, I can even request him to come and speak in Pune. He can tell you 25 businesses devotees can do, sitting at home, by which they can make money. Right now, tell me, what is the demand of the whole society? If you see, everybody wants good food, if you see. And they know in the market how nasty and how exploitative market is. So, if you are ready to take an innovative approach in life, rather than take a typical stereotyped approach in society, then you can make your life much different. For example, how many of you have the guts to take, you say, I will start a unit for supplying Daba Prasad to the IT people. I'm just saying, in Jawadi. How many, lakh people are there? And once you start giving for 5 people, 10 people, by word of mouth, you will have unlimited people. You don't have to cook yourself. You just make a unit, lead a unit, and then you employ people. And then you can, if you want to know, I can show you one place in Koth Road. One of our devotees, Rasashray Prabhu. He can give you a phone number. You can talk to him. I went to his Govindas recently. He showed me, he has put cameras, everything inside. What employees are doing, everything he can see in his mobile, wherever he may be in Pune. Huh? He doesn't have to go to shop at all. He's got 2 employees only and is making very good profit. And anybody buys eatables above 500, they get 1 Bhagavad Gita free. You know, you can go to shop and see. Instead of talking like this, you personally go and see. And he's making money also, profits also, prasad is also going. And through that going short, small Govindas, it's only 1/4 of this hall. That's all he has. And through this, he's making a lot of devotees. He's making. So devotee is making, money is making, he doesn't have a job. Just making money from there. So I would say that if you can yourself become an entrepreneur and lead a business where you employ some people, they do the work and you can manage through mobile, that kind of business. And there are people from one hand to another hand, they, purchase, like for example, they purchase some commodities from Vrindavan and they send to other places. Like Maharaj says, Bhakta Maharaj says that, spices or like agarbatti and things like that. From one hand to another hand, you make lakhs of rupees. Basically, you should be a very good people connector. You should know how to connect with the right source, how to connect with the people who will take. Actually, through such businesses only, many ISKCON devotees are coolly doing. So, maybe I can do one homework from my side. I can talk to Maharaj and ask Maharaj to connect us to some people who are doing different type of such businesses. And then you all can watch it also. One example, Amal Mahaprabhu. He was brahmachari in the ashram, 10 years. Now he got married now. Now he said, why should I go for a job? He has got Arjun Academy, he has started. So he goes to some companies and gives some seminars. And he has published some 3-4 books. What is that? The Age of Distraction. Art of Concentration in the Age of Distraction. So that book, he has sold more than 1 lakh books he has sold in the tuition centers in Kota, Rajasthan. So now these books are producing good money for him. In Pune also there is one Chitode sir. He's written 20 books he has written. And that money he says is enough for many lifetimes is enough. Money is coming. He doesn't have to work at all in a college. He has left his job. He's just doing full-time service. So if somebody can write books and distribute, because he's Brahminical, he's Brahminical, he has written books, he gives seminars, and then he's running his home like a mini ISKCON temple. He's got about 10-15 families living with him in Hyderabad. So I'm just giving you examples. One example I gave you of food products. Another example I gave you of Amal Mahaprabhu now. And Dabba Prasad. If somebody, nowadays Swiggy and Zomato is there, you know that, no? Swiggy, Zomato. So you don't have to pay also. You just make prasad and put it in dabba and make it available. There are people who will come and pick it up through Swiggy and they are ready to pay also. In Hyderabad, how many people are asking me, coming to temple, Prabhuji, if temple can provide prasad, we will arrange through Swiggy and pick it up. Hundreds and thousands of people will join, especially devotees. You will see that. So, but one thing is, many of us are controlled by family, relatives and all. They will say, hey, what kind of thing you are doing, business? You are engineer. And they think engineer means typically you should go to IT company and work from morning to evening. Then only they think it's a job. So, in the same manner, Murari Prabhu, he was in our ashram till the age of 42 or 43. He got married. You ask him what is he doing. He has come to Pune now. He's currently in Pune now. You can ask him what is he doing. In a day, only 3 hours only he is doing tuitions. And the tuition is giving for foreign children. American children is giving, sitting in Pune. Now, then I found out that nowadays, home tuitions you can get from internet. You can give a demo. If they're happy with you, then you can connect with them and they will pay you. And then monthly, 3 students are giving 20,000 each, And then you get 60,000 monthly. 3 hours a day he works, that's all. Rest of the day he has got for devotion service. So he is saying a family is running with 15,000. Here he is earning 60,000 also. You have good amount of money, you can save also. But I am telling you more Brahminical type of service I am telling you. Amal Mahaprabhu, Murari Prabhu, because I know it. In the same manner, if you have a Kshatriya nature, then you can actually see our Kishore Gauranga Prabhu in Pune. You ask him, he has got 10 or 12 businesses he has got. Sometime, Antadi Prabhu, we can invite these people also. Kishore Prabhu and tell what all business is running. One of his business is Yatra, He takes Yatra, 300 people, 400 people. Per head, he charges 6,000. He does very good coordination. So somebody is a very good organizer, coordinator. One Yatra you take and come, they have good amount of savings also in that. And they will not use ISKCON's name. He's doing it like outside. And he has got a shop also. He has got a stationery shop, a Xerox shop. Like that, he has got 12 business in Pune. Ask him when he goes. He doesn't go anywhere. He's at home only. He can do Balaji, Seva. Basically, he's sitting at home and, like there was one brahmachari in Pune temple, Camp temple. When he came out of the ashram, I saw him with Paramahansa Lokanath Maharaj traveling everywhere. I said, Hare, you are going everywhere. How do you manage your livelihood? He said, Prabhuji, I have started a Chota Mota business, he said. Then he took me to one website called Chota Mota, He typed it and showed it. He said, no, Mason or people are not available for Chota Mota many times. You know that. Very difficult to get for Chota Mota jobs. Everybody wants like a big projects. But he has got a dozen people, Mason, turner, fitter, welder, like that. He has got dozen people with him. And he has told these people, I will keep on giving you Chota Mota jobs. So through that website, he gets order and he makes a phone call to these people and tells them to go. And then they will not get a single penny money from where they are doing the work. He will only supply the money. And he doesn't do any company. He just does this only, Chota Mota job. That's all. There are a lot of people. Actually, one thing is, some other people who have been in Brahmacharya Ashram, already they gave up everything and joined. So now also they are very bold to take such businesses. Correct? Huh? Because many times we have fear that in case it doesn't succeed, what will happen? Huh? So you have to give up that fear and boldly go ahead. Then you will be able to. I'm just telling you whatever comes to my mind immediately now, but I can make a list of those people, correct now? Who are all doing different type of things, especially Grihastas. We can put a dozen of them and then they can share. Panel will be good. Or they can also make video also. If they make a video clip and give, we combine all of them, put on YouTube. So each one of them can say how I threw away the conventional approach of joining a company job. And I started my own thing. And how I am doing my thing. Actually, Vivek Bindraji talks a lot about it in his channel also. Becoming an entrepreneur. Very tiny people have become big entrepreneurs nowadays. So, there also you'll get a lot of ideas. But what I'm saying is, if you take an innovative approach, initially it will be a little challenging. But once things are set rolling, it will be very rewarding in the long run. Yeah. Yeah. But it was very nice to have Sarvawtar Prabhu today. I suddenly called him. Actually, I'm supposed to call you yesterday and tell you I have been very busy. Suddenly you got an urgent emergency call. It was very inspiring, asking questions to him and getting answers from him. A lot of deep realization he has, and having 3 children, wife, running a family and doing services, doing a job, blissfully situated in devotional service. This is the kind of role models we want to see for all of our NS devotees. So let us thank him with 3 loud Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.